years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to Six Rings.
Ball sounds you love, like fight song.
All right, we are steamrolling here towards Sports Center. A little issue with the clock right there, but NBD means no big deal, Alondra. After further review is staring you straight in the face. We'll get a national update from Sports Center. We'll have Phil Steele coming up here in about 20 minutes from right now. About 15 minutes from right now as well. We'll preview the biggest games of the college football weekend. And Mr. The Riot, Ryan Theriot, will be here as we kick off or get into a Friday edition of AFR. And Saints-Panthers, if you haven't seen the injury report, it's no bueno, but it looks like Derek Carr will be back. AFR is staring you straight in the face. We got a Friday edition presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. Am I going all the way up to Sports Center? Oh, I was timing it out, Alondra, like I was timing it out to the ID, but we already played the ID.
Did the ID.
Yeah, a little bit inside baseball there. I don't think people care. Anyway, here's Sports Center in 3, 2, 1, go.
This is Sports Center.
I'm Doug Brown. Caitlin Clark, Aaliyah Boston, and the Indiana Fever have a new head coach, Stephanie White, who coached Connecticut for the last 2 years. White also played and coached for the Fever earlier. Rams wideout Puka Nacua won't practice today with a knee injury, but head coach Sean McVay says he wouldn't bet against Nacua playing Sunday against the Seahawks. The 7-0 Chiefs host the Buccaneers Monday night, and now Kansas City has added linebacker Josh Uche in a trade with the Patriots. Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes.
Someone that can really get to the QB, especially in those pass rush situations. I think he does a great job of playing hard the entire time, too, which is sometimes you get guys that kind of take their chances in their spots and stuff like that, but he's a guy that gets after it every single snap he gets. And so I think it's a great addition to an already great defense. I think his specialty will be able to really be emphasized in this defense.
Patrick Mahomes. Browns running back Jerome Ford will play Sunday against the Chargers. He missed the last 2 games with a sore hamstring. Cornerback Denzel Ward questionable for Cleveland after being diagnosed with his 6th career concussion.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy, coming up Monday, Week 9 in the NFL, as well as my trip to the Big House, and I'll recap it all in my Upon Further Review at 7 a.m. Eastern. It's Unsportsmanlike, weekday mornings at 6, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio.
That's right! Woo!
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. I'm Matt.
You're a loser, Matt!
Hey, shut up, kid. Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
You so... Nope. Sorry. Alondra Villarreal. And a Mr. Toby Tom plate. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Phil Steele in 15 minutes. Theriot next hour. Let us begin as we do every single day.
It's time to pop the top on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
Tigers are off this weekend, but still got good news. Jacobian Guillory announced with our guy Jordy over on Colada Show that he will, in fact, return for a 6th season. I think Jacques Doucet maybe had this a couple of weeks back, but Jacobian on the record confirmed it, that he will, in fact, return to LSU for a sixth and final season. I think we all remember this story here that Guillory came back this season for his fifth year, was supposed to be your best guy on the interior, tore his Achilles in the Nichols game, and so after really just a game and a half, was out for the year, but now has announced he will return. I want to give you some perspective here and a reminder kind of what the expectation was for Jacobian Guillory. So it doesn't sound like I'm overstating the significance or importance here. Remember, after the 2023 season, you lose Mason Smith early to the draft, you lose Mekhi Wingo to the draft, Jordan Jefferson was out of eligibility, he goes into the draft. So you lost your top three guys, and you're getting Jacobian Guillory back. Remember, we all, not only, it wasn't just us, thought that was the biggest position of need, the biggest weakness. Even with Guillory, right? Brian Kelly said after spring, they were looking at one position in the transfer portal. It was defensive tackle. And they went hard after Simeon Barrow, who ended up at Miami, Dominic Williams, who ended up at Oklahoma. How's that going, kid? Anyway, he got his bag. I ain't mad at him. But anyway, like, that's how thin you were. And Guillory was your best guy. By the way, this was Brian Kelly during spring football. This past spring, Brian Kelly on Jacobian Guillory.
In terms of stopping the run, Jacobian Guillory has been outstanding. I mean, he's singularly been, I think, in terms of what Bo Davis is looking for, he's been outstanding, and he's been a stalwart. We got to find the other guy, and that's what we're looking for. We're trying to develop that second guy, and then we'll have some depth guys behind him.
So, outstanding stopping the run. Do I need to remind you that one of the biggest issues that LSU has had defensively this year has been stopping the run? If you look at run defense, LSU this year, unfortunately, is among the worst in the country, or in the SEC at times this year, stopping the run. We've seen the big, long touchdown runs they've given up, the 75-yarder, the 66-yarder against South Carolina, the 67-yarder against Nichols, the 50-yarder against Ole Miss. Certainly we saw what happened last week with a running quarterback. So without Guillory. So, by the way, that was in spring. Brian Kelly, this was August the 26th. So this was the week of the USC game, the week of the opener. This was Brian Kelly on Jacobian Guillory.
He's been our best defensive tackle, our most consistent, starting with the tail end of last year, and that continued through the spring and into preseason camp. He's extremely strong, can hold the point, plays with great leverage and technique. He's really come along incredibly well in terms of the ability to use his hands and disengage and find the football. There's one thing to have strength, at the point of the attack, but if you can't find the football, okay. You just hold the point. What he's been able to do is use great strength, and now he's controlling the blocker and finding the football. What do I think we'll see? He's going to make a lot of tackles, and that's saying a lot for a defensive tackle.
I mean, that's Brian Kelly the week of the USC game. The week of the USC game telling you how much they were expecting from this guy, and you get him for a game and a half all season. So, yes, you were thin. He was your best guy. You lose him. Here's the positive of this season. I'm going to state the obvious, but the positive is with Guillory out, it has forced you to play a lot of other guys and get some other guys' experience. Ahmad Bro, Dominic McKinley, obviously case in point, the two. JVR Suggs has been a really good interior pass rush. He hasn't played a ton of snaps. He's been sort of a specialist as an interior rusher, but he's been very good in that role. So now when you look ahead to 2025, with Guillory coming back, look at how that position group starts to shape up. You've got Jacobian Guillory coming back. You've got Sean Washington, who's able to return, along with JVR Suggs. Ahmad Bro, Dominic McKinley, both back for their second seasons. Demyron Johnson's a freshman this year who is redshirting, but will be available for you. And then you've got 4 defensive tackle commitments: Zion Williams, Brandon Brown, Buddy Mathis, Dylan Battle. You start to look at the numbers. Now, you're going to lose Gio Paez. He was going to be a one-and-done transferring in from Washington. From Wisconsin. This was his super senior year. So Paez has done Jalen Lee is done after this year. Paris Shand, who's been so versatile for you inside and out. He's really, since the Ole Miss game the last 3 weeks now, started at interior defensive tackle next to Paez. They've really kicked him inside and made him a 275, 280-pound tackle because he's gap sound and responsible. It's a very versatile, talented player for you. So you're losing those three guys, but Guillory, Washington, Bro, McKinley, Suggs, Demiron Johnson, Kimo Makanaioli potentially, if you need him back. I mean, that's 7 right there. And then the 4 guys I mentioned, Williams, Brown, Mathis, and Battle, that's 11 defensive tackles available. Now, you're probably going to have some attrition. Maybe one of those guys transfers. I don't know. We'll see what happens with Sean Washington or Kimo. Or I don't know. I don't know. But that's 11 right there. You're already deeper, more talented, more experienced just from jump going into spring for 2025 than you were at any point this year. And, that doesn't even count the Bo Davis development portion of this. I mean, just look at the guys on this year's team that have gotten better as the season's gone along. I mean, Ahmad Bro might be the best example of that. Paris Shand moving inside. You got guys that are just playing better. They're better coached. They're playing better. I mean, we can talk about the big plays they've given up in the run game, and I know you can't take those away. I mean, that's a part of why you are. But going into last week, you were 33rd in the country in rush defense. Right now, after a bad week, you're 48th. But think about what you did at Arkansas, how gap sound and responsible you were against Arkansas with a running quarterback and a good running game. I mean, yes, you've gotten better because of Bo Davis, and next year, the talent, the cavalry is on the way, as I continue to say, and now you're getting Jacobian Guillory back as well, which instantly makes you better. And that doesn't even count potentially dipping into the portal or trying to find a starter somewhere along the way in the transfer portal if that opportunity presents. So Jacobian Guillory returning for 2025, really significant news for LSU. A Louisiana guy from Alexandria Senior High up there at Ash who didn't want to go out with an injury. And so now he's coming back for a 6th season. It'll be pretty impactful for an LSU team that's going to have eyes on the playoff again in 2025. All right, Show Open every day is brought to you by Bud Light. Drink easy in Louisiana with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of the LSU Tigers, the official beer of the New Orleans Saints, the official beer of AFR. And as we always tell you, our friends at Anheuser-Busch with Bud Light, Budweiser, and Mockler Beverage, proud to partner with Folds of Honor every single year. Folds of Honor contributes scholarships, raises funds for scholarships for the children of our fallen war heroes and first responders. So what a noble cause that Bud Light, Budweiser, Mockler, Anheuser-Busch, they've all been involved with for more than a decade now, raising tens of millions of dollars. It's pretty incredible what they've been able to do. You started to see the ads during the NFL games, and we're thrilled to talk about it. So be sure to be on the lookout for those Folds of Honor cans and bottles when you grab Bud Light at the store near you. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR. Okay, y'all, it's After Further Review. Glad you're hanging out. Phil Steele joins us every Football Friday here on AFR. We're excited to have Phil Steele when we come back. 2 segments previewing the biggest games of the college football weekend. We'll have our tailgate segment with Coben Linedecker from over at Chris's Specialty Foods coming up in 30 minutes from right now as well. Stick around. It's AFR. Get Gordon and get it done. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. If you've been injured in an accident, it's not your fault. You know what to do. Do what injured people in our state have done for 30 years. Get Gordon and get it done. Go to getgordon.com, getgordon.com. Check out all the cool NIL content that they do with members of the G team. If you go to Twitter or Facebook or Instagram or TikTok, you'll see it. The handle is the same at all, at Get Gordon. That's at Get Gordon, and you can see all the cool content that they've done. Pretty good sit down with, this is fun. They did a sit down with Emory Jones, which is up right now, and they also did a fun bit with Witt and West Weeks. The full video is linked, so you can go to YouTube and watch it there, but it's a funny video where they're giving them Louisiana words and having these Georgia boys try to pronounce the Louisiana words. So the first one that you see on there is Natchitoches, as you can imagine where that might go. Anyway, as we always say, they love to have fun there as well. It's Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. Get Gordon and get it done. Go to getgordon.com, getgordon.com.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Savor game day platters and snacks, plus drink specials at 1717 Kitchen and Cocktail. So come out for game day and let our team make you the MVP. The Queen Casino, where every moment is a win.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary. For those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Join us at Pro Dreams in Mandeville for our special event, A Day of Champions. Meet LSU National Championship winning head coaches Jay Johnson, Skip Bertman, and Paul Maneri. Don't miss your chance to purchase authentic sports memorabilia, autographed by the champions themselves. It's the perfect opportunity to celebrate LSU baseball and take home a piece of history. Visit pro-dreams.com to get your tickets. See you there.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
Wouldn't be a Football Friday if we didn't spend this time with Phil Steele previewing the biggest games of the college football weekend. PhilSteele.com. Take that Phil Steele Plus tour on YouTube. Phil, great to chat. How are you?
I am doing great, Matt. How about yourself?
Doing good, man. Open date for the Tigers. We just get to sit back, kick up our feet, and watch all the games all weekend. We got a pretty good slate as well. One of the themes, though, Phil, we'll delve into, a lot of big home dogs we'll talk about throughout our time here today. But let's start with a home dog, but not a big home dog, and that's the big one at big noon kickoff. That's Penn State hosting Ohio State. The one-loss Buckeyes on the road against the undefeated Nittany Lions. Penn State catching a field goal at home. What do you think? Do the Nittany Lions remain undefeated?
First of all, Matt, you should call it the big 12:15 kickoff because the damn game never kicks off till 12:15, 12:20. And I'm trying to get a picture of my 9 or 12 TVs to show I've got action on all of them. And you have to wait through that and stupid game day to finally finish up 15 minutes. So I don't know why they call it big noon kickoff, but I digress. It's just a pet peeve of mine.
I hear you.
But, yeah, this should be an excellent game. You got two really, really good defenses. You got an Ohio State offensive line that's struggling. I'll give the edge to Penn State on the offensive line, but you got to give the edge to Ohio State at wide receiver. You got to give the edge to Penn State at tight end. I mean, it's going to be a hell of a game. I think if you take a look, James Franklin's 7-2 against the spread against Ohio State. He always plays them close, but the one game Penn State wanted this year on the entire schedule has got to be Ohio State. I mean, they don't play Michigan. If you're going to break through and beat a big boy, you got to do it here. This is your one game against the big boy. They're fired up. It's noon, and I think Penn State, talent-wise, is right there, very close to Ohio State. So Ryan Day's come up short in a lot of games versus top 5 teams. He's taken on a legitimate top 5 team. I like Penn State plus the points to potentially pull the upset.
All right, man. What a shakeup that would be nationally. That would hang a second loss on Ohio State, would leave their playoff hopes fleeting. A team that just continues winning is Miami. They're at home against Duke, who's really struggled this year. I shouldn't say he's really struggled. Duke is 6-2. They're 2-2 in the conference. But Duke at Miami. Miami, a 3-touchdown favorite, laying 21 at home. Phil, what do you think? Did the Canes stay undefeated?
Yeah, as long as they don't turn the ball over a lot. You look at last week, Duke caught 6 turnovers against SMU, a 6-0 turnover edge, and SMU also got stopped at the 1-yard line, and Duke still lost the game by 1. They don't have an overwhelming offense. They did move the ball in smooth last week, but I think Miami, 2 years ago, Duke came in here, and it was an embarrassing game for Cristobal. They lost at home 45-21 via the turnover. They could just gave up a lot of turnovers in the game and got beat by Duke. That's really the key here. Ironically, they were -6 in turnovers against Duke that year. Now, Manny Diaz going to be fired up. I mean, he got fired by Miami, and he's coming back home. But I think the Miami players will be more fired up than the Duke players necessarily. And I think Miami has a good talent edge. So I like Miami. I'll lay the points here. Wouldn't be one of my top 10 plays of the week, but I like the Hurricanes minus the points there. I think they are the much better team. And Duke at 6-2 is the product of a very soft schedule. I think you're going to see some losses on the horizon for Duke.
Let's jump into the SEC. One of those home dogs you talked about, Phil, is Arkansas. They're catching a touchdown and a hook at home against Ole Miss. But, boy, Ole Miss has been tough to figure out, especially since Trey Harris has been out. This is always a wacky one, Phil. How do you make sense of Ole Miss heading up to Fayetteville?
Yeah, and, you look at Ole Miss, and they're explosive. They're averaging 40 points per game, right? But 55 points per game in non-conference play, 24 points per game in 4 SEC games. And I like the way Arkansas is playing. Their worst game of the season, clearly LSU. And I liked them that week against LSU. And after Weeks got that tip pass, and it really turned the game around at the 2-yard line. And LSU came out with a very solid win there. But I think you're going to see Arkansas rebound. As we know from last year, Pittman as a dog is phenomenal. He went on that 4-game stretch and lost all of them close. This year, they actually broke through and beat Tennessee at home. They've got Taylon Green, who's doing well, both running and passing the ball. I like the way they're playing. I believe Pittman against ranked SEC teams, something like 8-1, or 8-2, I should say. And the same thing, just as a dog, he does well. So I'll take him getting over a touchdown at home. They're about 7.5 right now. And I think they could potentially pull the upset here. Phil
Steele's with us. He's on Twitter at PhilSteele042. Get to PhilSteele.com. You'll see the link for that Phil Steele Plus tour. We'll tell you more about that in a smidge. Army's undefeated, Phil. As long as they're undefeated and they're in the mix for the G5 at large or auto bid, we're going to keep talking about them. It's Army against 1-6 Air Force. Big home favorite here. Army laying 22 at home in West Point at Meechee Stadium. Does Army keep rolling?
Last year when these two played, it's remarkable the turnaround that we've got here. Army was a team that was struggling mightily. They had lost 5 in a row. They had been blown out by LSU 62-0, shut out by Troy 19-0. They had no offense, and they came into the game with a 1 win over an FCS foe, 1 win over an FBS foe. Air Force, meanwhile, came into the game 8-0, unbeaten, and just blowing teams out on a weekly basis. Most of their wins were by 17, 21 points. Air Force was a 17.5-point favorite in the game, and Army beat them. All right. Army actually, Air Force had the yardage edge, I believe, in the game, a slight yardage edge, but lost outright 23-3. Now the tables are completely turned. And this is a series where the underdog has covered 8 in a row, 5 of them outright. And if it's a Service Academy game, man, I like the under. The unders are an amazing record in these Service Academy games, going 26-4-1 to the under the last 31 years. And the reason for that is the Service Academies have an edge when you play the option. Teams only have a week to prepare for you, and they can't possibly have their scout team run at the level you do running the option. But when it's option against option, you practice against it all the time. The advantages are gone, and that's why these games go under. So I like the under, but I also like Air Force plus the big points here.
All right. Boy, it'd be interesting to see if Air Force can keep that one close. Let me get one more here in the SEC. We'll talk about the afternoon slate. How about Vanderbilt at Auburn? Phil, it feels like, again, this is just looking at it on its face, it feels like people continue to discount Vanderbilt because of the logo on the side of the helmet. I can't make sense of why Vandy's an 8-point dog at Auburn, but you make sense of it for me. What do you think?
Yeah, and it's probably the same thing that I mentioned last week when I was asked about the fact that Auburn was just a 2.5-point dog to Kentucky. And I mentioned that Auburn's actually dominating yardage-wise in their games. They're plus 90 yards per game in SEC play this year. Their problem has been turnovers. And last week they turned the ball over once. Look what happened. They go into Kentucky, come out with a 24-10 win. Meanwhile, Vanderbilt, and granted, they've played Texas, Alabama, but they are minus 30 yards per game in SEC play. So if you're looking at the conference yards per game, Auburn should be about a 7 to 10 point favorite, and that's what they are. But how do you go against Diego Pavia? I mean, this guy's remarkable. And here's the thing. He's already come into Jordan-Hare last year and came out of there with a win. Remember, he took New Mexico State in there. Now, it won't be like that because Auburn last year was just looking past New Mexico State. They had Bama on deck. They were a massive favorite. There's no way they look past Vanderbilt. But that's the reason that Auburn is over a touchdown favorite here. But with that said, I like Vandy plus the points. I think you got to stick with Pavia to take this one down to the wire and potentially pull the upset.
The other big one in the Big Ten, Phil, is Oregon at Michigan. Mentioned these big home dogs. Here's one of them. The Wolverines catching 14.5. Michigan, a 2-touchdown home underdog with Oregon coming in. Maybe a big effort by Michigan?
Definitely a big effort by Michigan. But, last week they gave a big effort against Michigan State in that game, and I was sort of nonplussed. They actually got outgained by 87 yards. They did lead by 14 points, gave up a late score, and only won by 7, but Michigan State was driving at the end. I just don't know if Michigan has an on switch. You look at their offense, only averaging 303 yards this year. They went to Davis Warren and Alex Orji, used both of them last week, mostly Warren. And I thought we saw improvement, but nothing overwhelming. This is a team that lost at home to Texas by 19, and I think Oregon's just as good as Texas is this year. And Oregon's just a team that started out the year slow. They've been getting better each and every week. They can run the ball with Jordan James. They can run it and throw it with Dylan Gabriel. They've got a dynamic defense that's holding opponents to 95 yards per game below their season average. They really are a complete team. So it wouldn't be one of my top 10 or even 15 plays of the week. But if I was to bet this game, I'd have to take Oregon just for the fact that they are the much better team.
Phil Steele's with us again on Twitter at PhilSteele042. We'll knock out a break, come back, talk about the cocktail party and a big one at night under the lights at Williams-Brice. It's all still to come with Phil Steele here on AFR.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Clegg's Nursery with 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area: Siegen near Airline, LA 16 in Denham, Mid-City on Donmore, and the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. Tell you every single day to buy local and shop local. Clegg's has been doing it for 60 years, y'all, and we're moving into fall. It's officially November. Halloween's behind us. We're moving toward Thanksgiving. Get on by Clegg's and get that fall decor this weekend. No LSU game. They are on the bye. Maybe you want to spend part of your Saturday morning. You get by Clegg's. Get those fall bedding plants. Add that pop of color to your flower beds, your patio pots, any of that fall decor for outside, and still a great selection of things like pumpkins and hay bales and squash and gourds and scarecrows. You want to have that beautiful decor for your front patio, your back porch, or your office building. Great way to do it and great place to do it is at Clegg's Nursery. Again, any of the 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area, Clegg's and their helpful staff have been around Baton Rouge for 60 years. So buy local, shop local, and tell them Matt sent you in to Clegg's Nursery.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our number one product is always customer.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
Rolling along on a Football Friday edition of AFR. Phil Steele's with us, of course. Make sure you get to philsteele.com, S-T-E-E-L-E, philsteele.com. Take that Phil Steele Plus tour that's linked on the YouTube. The YouTube channel is linked on the homepage. You get plenty of picks for this week. We'll let Phil explain a little bit more in just a bit. Phil, let's stay in that 2:30 Central Time window, the cocktail party down in Jacksonville. Florida, Georgia, this is another giant line. You wonder, man, in these rivalry games, that number 2 big, but boy, Georgia has owned this one. Georgia laying 14.5 against the Gators down in Jacksonville.
Yeah, the numbers actually coming down in this one, and Georgia has dominated the series, 3 straight blowout wins. But I actually like the Gators here and used them on the Phil Steele Plus tour. For a couple of reasons. The last 4 weeks AGG play on the tour, if you're an underdog, is 6-2, and this is a last 4 weeks AGG. And what I mean by that is, if you take a look at the average game grade just over the last 4 weeks, Florida should only be about a 2.5-point underdog. They've been playing better. Georgia, remember they only beat Mississippi State by 10. They beat Auburn by 18. Didn't cover either of those games. Lost to Alabama. They're actually 1-3 against the spread. And they get highly motivated when they're an underdog, but here they're a double-digit favorite. And they've got at Mississippi, Tennessee on deck. I like the way Florida's playing on offense. I love the way that Jaden Baugh emerged at the running back spot. DJ Lagway's been doing well. And this is a Florida team that I think is playing really good football right now. So I like the Gators plus the points to keep this one closer than expected.
Another big line here, Phil, is what's going to go down in Ames, also in that 2:30 Central window. Iowa State ranked 11th. They're undefeated. Texas Tech coming in there at Jack Trice Stadium. It's 13.5. We're going to keep looking at the other Cyclones as long as they stay undefeated. Do they get it done at home?
Yeah, and I think when you look at Iowa State, this is the best team Matt Campbell's ever had. And go back to my spring conversations with him. Every position, he said, either, Phil, this is the best we've ever been at this position, this is the most experienced, or this is the most talented we've been at this position. And look how they're playing. They're a perfect 7-0. Now, granted, they only beat UCF by 3, but they had a 28-14 first down edge. They gave up not one, but basically 2 interception returns for touchdowns and still won the game. They basically had a 28-point turnaround in the game and still won. So I think when you look at Iowa State, they're a team that can win as a favorite. They beat West Virginia by 12. They beat Baylor by 22. And Texas Tech is a team that doesn't match up well against them. Their 3-3-5 defense does extremely well against the air raid. And I've been sort of nonplussed with Texas Tech, especially defensively this year, giving up 466 yards per game. So even though it's a lot of points, Texas Tech has that backdoor potential. I like Iowa State laying less than the 2 touchdowns here.
Another undefeated team is Indiana, 8-0. Phil, what a story what Curt Cignetti's been able to do there. Now they're on the road in East Lansing against Michigan State. The Hoosiers are an 8-point road favorite here. Does Cignetti and company keep it rolling after the big win on hosting game day a week ago?
Well, you know how I feel about streaks, Matt. When you play on a streak, you win many times, you lose only once.
Yep.
I have had Indiana 8 straight weeks. You think I'm jumping off? There is no way. And, they got Curtis Work back. Taven Jackson showed he could play last week. They've got a plethora of running backs. They go 4 deep at the running back spot. The defense is holding foes to 69 yards per game below their season average. And go back to that Michigan State game when they played Oregon a few weeks back. That thing was 31-0 Oregon. They got 10 late points. Now, they did play a really good game against Iowa. They actually outgained Michigan, but this is a different Indiana team. There's no way I'm going against the Hoosiers. Lay the points once again, even with a big game against Michigan on deck, which maybe isn't so big anymore.
Let's talk about Kansas State again, Phil. I know these games maybe not be the ones that many people here have it really on their radar, but as we keep stating, in Kansas State 7-1, they're 4-1 in the Big 12. Like somebody's going to win the Big 12 and get an auto bid in that top 4, and Kansas State is still very much in line. They're on the road at Houston. Kansas State is a 13-point road favorite. Can Kansas State keep their Big 12 and playoff hopes alive?
My favorite play in this one, Matt, is actually the under. And it's because I don't think a lot of people realize how good Houston's defense is. They're holding foes to 85 yards per game below their season average. That's number 18 in the country. And offensively, they have been shut out twice. Could have been shut out by UNLV. It would be 3 times. So they are a pure under team. And meanwhile, Kansas State has a very good defense, and their offense is good, but I think in this situation you're playing with some pressure on you. You want to get out of here with a win. I don't think they take a lot of chances. I actually like the under as my best play in this one. I do like K-State to win the game, though.
We're going to wrap up our whole conversation with A&M South Carolina, but let me ask you about a couple others before we come back to that. Clemson is another one we got to keep an eye on here, Phil. They're hosting Louisville, and you've been telling us like this might be the biggest challenge that Clemson's had since they played Georgia in the opener. Well, they're a 10-point home favorite. Cards coming in there to Memorial Stadium in Clemson. Who do we like here in the ACC?
Yeah, and you got another streak game here, Matt, because I've actually gone against Louisville 5 straight weeks and won all 5 against the spread. They're 2-5 or 2-3 in that span, and really could be 0-5 in that span. They got fortunate comeback wins against Virginia and Boston College. Louisville is not as good as last year's Louisville team. Meanwhile, Clemson, you look at them defensively, and they're allowing 349 yards per game. And you might say, well, that's not a great Clemson defense. But guess what? NC State, they're up 59-14. They gave up over 200 yards and 21 points in the fourth quarter against backups. Last week against Virginia, Virginia had 17 points. They scored not 1, but 2 touchdowns in the last 3 minutes of the game. The yardage they're giving up is at the end of the game with it out of reach. I think you get Clemson to play an entire game here. They roll. I like Clemson minus the points over Louisville.
Couple more for you here, Phil. In the night window, Kentucky is at Tennessee. Tennessee's another one of those teams at 6-1 overall, 3-1 in the league. Their SEC championship and playoff hope still very much alive. Kentucky is limping, and they're a 17.5-point road dog after getting housed last week. Does Tennessee find a little something, get their offense back on track, and beat up on Kentucky?
Yeah, I tell you what, 0 points in the first half the last 3 games. You know that's the emphasis all the last 2 weeks is let's score some points early. And if they can get points early, I don't think Kentucky can keep up with them. You look at Kentucky's offense, it's not doing great. They don't have that feature running back that they normally do. Vandergriff is decent, not great. I would say average. If they bring in Wimsatt, he got beat out at Rutgers for the starting job. And defensively, as you touched on, they're banged up. And in fact, the last 2 weeks, they've given up close to 500 yards both weeks in those games. And the thing I love about Josh Heupel, Matt, is he's a great home favorite. He likes to score in the fourth quarter. So even if you're up by 14 heading into the fourth quarter, you got to feel good because Tennessee's still trying to score. I'm laying the points with Tennessee in that one.
Big number, 17.5, but Phil likes the Vols laying the points. 2 more. Phil Steele is with us. How about Pitt at SMU? Boy, the Ponies are looking good, 7-1. Pitt undefeated, 7-0. Eli Holstein is one that we kind of been keeping an eye on, a local kid here from the greater Baton Rouge area. Pitt at SMU, maybe the class of the ACC. What do we think, Phil?
Yeah, two undefeated teams. Smooth lost to BYU, but I've been more impressed with Smooth this year. I like the overall offense and defense. Pitt plays really good defense. They've got a good offense, but anytime you take a team that was +5 in turnovers last week against one that was -6 in turnovers, you probably get some line value here, and I think that's what we get with Smooth this week. Wouldn't be one of my top plays. Definitely not. I think it's going to be a great game, but if I had to pick the game, I would go with SMU -7.
All right, Phil, big one in the SEC that a lot of people here are keeping an eye on with keen interest after LSU fell to Texas A&M. Tigers might need a little bit of help to make it to Atlanta, and it would help if South Carolina managed to pull an upset here. So Gamecocks at home. They're catching 3 under the lights at Williams-Brice. Can the Gamecocks make a lot of people in SEC towns happy this weekend?
I tell you what, a great situational play for South Carolina. And as you touched on, every week that you watch South Carolina's defense shut down teams, and then the next week those teams do really well. And you're like, South Carolina's got a hell of a defense, and they do. They're holding foes to 98 yards per game below their average, number 9 in the country. And the situation is something that you really have to like here. South Carolina's fresh at home, off a bye, at night in Williams-Brice, and then you take a look at Texas A&M. Undefeated versus undefeated at home. I thought they got outplayed greatly by LSU in the first half. And then they switched their quarterback. I don't know if LSU was ready for Marcel Reed in the second half, but it was a different game in the second half. A couple of key interceptions as well. But now you're off a big win. You have to travel on the road, taking a team that's fresh off a bye. And the thing we know about Beamer is that he can pull the upsets. And so I thought South Carolina probably should have beaten LSU earlier this year. They just didn't put them away early. I think South Carolina does beat Texas A&M here. I like the Gamecocks to pull the upset.
Outright pick there for Phil Steele. And, man, that certainly would shake up things in the SEC if the Gamecocks could get it done. Of course, Phil Steele joins us every Friday, and we always love to tell you about the Phil Steele Plus Tour. Phil, let's talk a little bit about the tour and what people get there.
Yeah, on the tour, we had a nice week again last week, going 6-3, and you can get free plays on the tour right now. Just go to philsteele.com. Right on the front menu there, you can see the Phil Steele Plus Tour with selections. You get 5 selections and 5 quick hitters. Just click on that, takes you to my YouTube channel, and then make sure you subscribe once you're there. But you get yourself 10 free plays, 6-3 last week for the free plays. Make sure you check them out. Absolutely free right now. Go to philsteele.com.
He is Phil Steele with us every single Friday. Go to philsteele.com, STEELE, philsteele.com, and check out that Phil Steele Plus Tour. Phil, you're the best. We always appreciate it, man. Enjoy your football weekend.
Have a great week off, Matt.
Absolutely will do. We'll talk to Phil next week. We'll be previewing the big one in Death Valley with LSU and Alabama. We'll wrap up hour number 1 next.
AFR.
Brought to you by Darren James and Associates, brokered by LPT Realty. You know where to find them, agent225.com. That's agent225.com. Buying or selling. If you need a realtor, you need Darren James. And y'all, check the calendar. It's November the 1st. And I tell you, every single year, the single biggest, most active real estate month in our market is November. And it makes a lot of sense when you explain it. You'd think, spring, end of the school year, people move during the summer. No. It's November. Want to be in your new home for the holidays? Want to be in the new home for the new year? Get your home sold before the end of the year? November. This is when the market gets active. And it's coincided now with rates dropping. You're starting to see buyers come back into the fold. If you're thinking of selling your home, don't wait. Don't wait for the inventory to go up and then there's more competition. You want to list your home today. You want to use Darren James. Agent225.com. Agent225.com for Darren James.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
When you can't rely on technology, you can rely on Mountain Cold Refreshment.
Dave's back on.
Coors Light, choose chill.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial properties. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
All right, wrapping up hour number 1. Apologies, we just got things wires crossed a little bit here. Normally we have our tailgate segment here, but open date week, a little miscommunication with Coben, so we'll pick up the tailgate segment next week. And Theriot is in studio in 15 minutes from right now. Let me just very quickly clarify something. So I made the announcement yesterday on the show, but I've just done this long enough to know that not everybody hears it the first time, and it takes a while for people to get accustomed to a change. Thursday was our last day on 100.3 ESPN New Orleans. The ownership sold the station. The new owner flipped formats. So yesterday was our final day on 100.3 in New Orleans. That's a new format altogether. I put that tweet out a bit ago, and I think a lot of people... a lot of people misinterpreted that to mean to think we weren't going to be on air anymore. Obviously, we're on air. You're hearing us and seeing us right now. So we are still on in Baton Rouge, in Alexandria, in Lafayette, in Lake Charles, and on YouTube and on WBTR. Everything is the same except 100.3 FM in New Orleans and the Bayou region. So we have known about that for a while now, and I've read some of the feedback. People say, "I wish you told us and we had known." For transparency, a lot of times deals like that fall through. And to be perfectly honest, there have been other potential buyers come to the table, and deals have fallen through as the ownership of 100.3 KLRZ had been trying to sell the station for a while. So until it's actually done and everything is finalized, it's never really done, because we've seen that before. But they did give us a heads up, and so we've been working on a handful of options, and we're gonna something will happen. It's just a matter of which one is the best for all of us moving forward. But we have been actively working on a new affiliate in the New Orleans area that we hope not only covers New Orleans, but we're certainly trying to cover the North Shore as well, as that's kind of been an issue, and of course the River region and the Bayou region. I should mention, of course, you can listen to us on the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge app. You can stream us there for free at 1045ESPN.com. You can watch us on YouTube, obviously, for free. And also, something we probably don't mention enough is 98.1 HD2. All newer vehicles have an HD radio. So if you just tune to 98.1 and select HD2, you will hear us on a 100,000-watt HD signal on the 98.1 tower. So on the 98.1 FM frequency. So 98.1 HD2, which does get into New Orleans and the Bayou region as well. So Plenty of options to listen to us, but again, that only affects our audience in New Orleans and the Bayou region. So, okay. It's After Further Review. We're brought to you by Shaw Bills Tire and Auto Service, ShawBillsTire.com. Saints injury reports out. We'll get to that here in just a second. Let me remind you about Shaw Bills. If you're hitting the road on this open date and you need new tires, go to Shaw Bills. Have an issue with your vehicle, take it to Shaw Bills. You need your oil change before you hit the road, take it to Shaw Bills. Tires rotated, alignment, balancing, any type of work on your vehicle, you want Shaw Bills. They're the best. Name brand tires, wholesale prices. They treat you like family, which keeps you coming back year after year after year after year. That's at Shaw Bills. ShawBillsTire.com. ShawBillsTire.com. Named by Modern Tire the Dealer of the Year. Congrats, Miss Beth Barron and the whole team over there at Shaw Bills, where we keep you rolling. Saints injury report is out, and it ain't good. I will start with the good, and the good is what is expected, which is that Derek Carr has no injury designation, and he is back. I shouldn't say he has no injury designation. He is still listed with the oblique injury and as a limited participant, but for the game status, there is no designation, meaning he is good to play. If you have a designation, it could either be probable, questionable, doubtful, or out. Derek Carr does not have a game designation, meaning he is going to play in the game against Carolina on Sunday. So after missing the last 3 games, starting Spencer Rattler for 3 times, Derek Carr will play and will start for the New Orleans Saints on Sunday. That much we know. Here's the not great news. Marshawn Lattimore, Kool-Aid McKinstry are out, along with Bub Means and Kendre Miller. So you've got 4 players that are out. Rico Payton, Cedric Wilson, Nick Saldiveri, Shane Lemieux, Nafai Sewell, John Ridgway, all questionable for the game. Jamal Williams is listed as doubtful for the game. So you still have a very long and extensive injury report, and that includes 2 cornerbacks in Kool-Aid McKinstry and Marshawn Lattimore that are out for the game. Remember, Paulson Adebo fractured his femur, and he's done for the season. So you are down your top 3 cornerbacks for this game in Charlotte against Carolina Panthers. So what does that mean? Obviously, one of those cornerback spots will be occupied by Alontae Taylor, who has played a good bit there on the outside. The real challenge is, what do you do after that? And we're going to have to wait and see how they tinker with their roster, what standard game day elevations they have, and who might be available for the Saints at the cornerback spot on Sunday. But a big part of that's going to depend on if Rico Payton is healthy and available as well. We have seen Ugo Amadi, who's a safety by position designation, but has played cornerback for the Saints this year as well, and did so last week, as a matter of fact, when both Lattimore and McKinstry left the game due to injury. So what they do at corner this weekend is going to be a giant question mark. For what it's worth, Dennis Allen met with reporters after practice on Friday, and he asked about the injuries in practice and if this is a new issue.
We've been doing the studies. Obviously, this year we're high. Last year we were probably right around league average in terms of soft tissue injuries, time missed, all that kind of stuff. First year we were well above average, meaning better. This year we're certainly, had a few more of those. So there's some things that we're going to do, to try to see if we can't figure out how to minimize that a little bit.
Said it a couple times. I'll just repeat it. Football is a very violent game. We know that. It's not a contact sport. It's a collision sport. You're going to have injuries like what happened to Paulson Adebo. As unfortunate as it is. A guy was making a hustle play, going to make a tackle. He kind of gets leg whipped, and he fractures his femur. Broken bones, torn ligaments. As unfortunate as those things are, those are part of the game. And there's just no way to legislate those things out. What Dennis Allen's talking about there are the soft tissue injuries, and that's really the concern when you look at the Saints injury report. And I look at hamstring, oblique, hamstring, groin, oblique. I mean, 6 of the injuries on this week's injury report are soft tissue injuries. And Dennis Allen's telling you, yes, they're above the league average right now. I mean, we could all guess that based on what we've seen so far throughout the course of the season. How do you work your way through that is a really legitimate question. If there is a good thing, I don't want to say that injuries are a good thing, but I mean just specifically on the timing of not having, obviously, Adebo, Lattimore, and now McKinstry as well. It's that you're playing the Carolina Panthers, and the Carolina Panthers are offensively among the worst in the league. Carolina averages 15.5 points a game. That's 29th in the NFL, and they're 30th in the league in passing offense. So they struggle to protect their quarterback. With Bryce Young in the game, it's been talked about a lot this week. They don't stretch the field the way they were for those couple weeks with Andy Dalton, and they just don't score. And they've got the worst scoring defense in the entire NFL. Even with really a bunch of backups playing at cornerback and in the secondary, still should favor New Orleans defensively. Again, if this were a game where you were taking on Atlanta or Tampa Bay, one of your divisional games, other divisional games, it would be a much different story. But in this week in particular, if there was ever a week where you could afford to be down 3 cornerbacks, this would be it against the worst team in the league. All right, it's After Further Review. We're brought to you by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com, lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Thrill her with a gift in the red box from Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Again, online at lmfj.com. You got 9 locations in all: Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Lafayette, Shreveport. You'll always get a gorgeous diamond from the finest diamond mines in the world. Every single diamond is hand-inspected by a family member before it goes into the case. You will never see a lab or man-made diamond. One of the things that nobody knows is, will something made in a lab hold value? Well, what is its value? I mean, it's a chemistry experiment. You never have to worry about that at Lee Michaels. Something you'll be thrilled to pass on to your daughter and future generations, granddaughter. You'll be thrilled to do it with Lee Michaels. Thrill her with a gift in the red box from Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. lmfj.com, lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Okay, y'all. Friday edition of AFR presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. Of course, no LSU game means no whiskey and wine this weekend. T-Bob and I will be back at Don Juan a week from Saturday for LSU Alabama. Y'all come join us. It's always lively there for LSU and Bama, especially when they win. So here's hoping. All right, we'll grab a break. SportsCenter's coming up. Get you caught up on national headlines. Theriot will be here for the right radio hours. When we come back, Ryan's Letter, Kick Rocks. Got to talk, I guess, a little bit about the World Series as well. Our Pick'em segment coming up in Hour 3. Ton to do. Hour 2 of AFR is next.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Energy-efficient replacement windows, beautiful entry doors, hardy plank vinyl siding. They do it all. They do it better than anyone over at Relief Windows. Like I always say, if you're just shopping price, if you're just getting quotes to see who's going to give you the lowest price, save yourself the time, save Relief Windows the time, because they're not going to be the cheapest. Just to be upfront with it. If you're just shopping price, do not call Relief Windows. And if you're just shopping price, that's fine, but understand you get what you pay for. And the same is true at Relief Windows. You'll get an exceptional customer service experience. You'll get a quality product that lasts. Their Geldwin wood windows come with a lifetime warranty. That sounds like a punchline, but it's true. You live in a neighborhood where the HOA requires wood windows instead of replacing them every 4 to 5 years? How about you do it once and you're done forever? That's Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding. Oh yeah, they do shutters as well. It's Relief Windows. Check them out online at reliefwindows.com. Reliefwindows.com.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps are held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana. And
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. After coaching the Connecticut Sun for 2 years, Indiana native Stephanie White is again the head coach of the Fever. She previously played for the team, was an assistant there, and the head coach back in 2015 and 16. The Lions are 3-point favorites on ESPN Bet for Sunday's game in Green Bay against the Packers. But ESPN's Mike Tannenbaum believes Detroit is also on upset alert.
We think that Jordan Love is going to play, and the one thing that Detroit can't do is rush the passer without Marcus Davenport and Aiden Hutchinson. Jordan Love's extremely talented, and if he can't play, I think Malik Willis will play well in his stead. So either way, I think it's a high-scoring game, and I like Green Bay.
Mike Tannenbaum on Get Up. Bengals wideout T. Higgins, offensive lineman Orlando Brown Jr., and running back Zach Moss are all doubtful for Sunday's game against the Raiders. Pelicans guard C.J. McCollum will be out 2 to 3 weeks with a right groin strain. Teammate Herb Jones out 2 to 4 weeks with a torn right rotator cuff and a shoulder strain.
Why pay more for a great shave? Choose Barbasol, America's #1 brand of shaving cream. Barbasol's thick and rich lather gives you a close, comfortable shave for just half the price of gels. Barbasol.
It's that Louisiana boy, yeah, they call him the Riot. Born and raised in the swamps, on the fight like a tiger. He going beast mode, baby, he a beast though.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio.
Let's ride! Go!
Boy, yeah, they call him the Riot. Born and raised in the swamps, on the fight like a tiger. He going beast mode, baby, he a beast though. What you think he supposed to do? You picture better reload. Get the boy.
After further review, the Riot Radio Hour with Matt Moscona and Ryan Theriot, presented by Alpha Customs. Alpha Customs, Prairieville and Lafayette, and online at alphacustoms.net.
Well, how's your week going?
Week was good.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, but good. I'm full of good ideas.
Here comes Theriot. The throw, not in time. Scudero delivers, and the Giants lead 4-3 in the 10th.
The wave pool, although probably full of bacteria, flesh-eating parasites, and the occasional turd,
provides endless hours of fun. It's not cool to have a 30A sticker on the back of your grocery go-getter. Big fan of the truck.
The Riot Radio Hour.
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Alondra Villarreal. And Theriot. But he's in traffic, I think. He texted me a minute ago. We got to get him headphones. Are those the ones that were on the chair? By the way, okay, there's new ones in the closet. We got to get the crappy ones. We're never using those ever again. We need those ones. Those got to get thrown away. Just go in the closet, top shelf. There's a new box. Thank you. Tero texted me that he's in traffic, that it's gridlock, and that was, I don't know, about 20 minutes ago. So we'll see when he gets here. And we'll do the whole Riot Radio Hour. So he is coming. This is, quite honestly, the whole show must go on thing, but Coben no-showed me. Terrio's late. Alondra just screwed up the intro. What, T-Bob's gone at Disney. I get it, it's the open date, but come on, y'all. Let's go, man. We got football this weekend. Just general malaise, man. General malaise here with LSU having lost going into the open date. People bummed about that, no doubt. The Saints are an absolute disaster. Come on down. The Theriot's here. The Pelicans just found this news. Herb Jones, right shoulder strain, small, low-grade, partial thickness tear in his rotator cuff. Recovery timeline, 2 to 4 weeks. His return to play will be based on how he responds to treatment and rehabilitation. C.J. McCollum diagnosed with a right adductor strain. McCollum's expected to miss 2 to 3 weeks. This sucks. Is there anything? Hi, Tero. How are you?
Hey, bro.
Is there anything at all worth good right now?
The Pellies?
No, they stink. Everybody's hurt. You're all excited and stuff because you go get DeJounte Murray in the offseason. First game, he fractures his hand. Trey Murphy's gone for a month. Herb and CJ now are both hurt as well. The Saints are awful. They're battling with Carolina in an exercise in futility, the pillow fight of the NFL this week. LSU just blew a double-digit lead in the second half at Texas A&M and got blown out. What's good? Give me something good, please.
You can start playing Christmas music now.
Nope, I hate Christmas music. I don't want it.
You can start playing it, though.
It's
illegal.
It's ridiculous to play Christmas music on November the 1st. It's ridiculous and stupid. Day after Thanksgiving, you want to start playing Christmas music? Fine. Christmas music November 1st is stupid.
Jonna showed up at the office today with an elf shirt on and her red. She was playing Jingle Bells on.
That's not okay.
That's a thing.
It's not okay. I think you agree with me
on the Christmas music.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I know. I forgot the Yankees lost too. What a week. I need something good to happen.
Is what's her name still the mayor in New Orleans?
Cantrell?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing good over there.
Yeah.
No, that whole thing is a disaster.
I was there for Taylor Swift last Friday.
How was that?
Really good.
Yeah, that show was lit.
Maybe
Is Zion hurt?
Yeah, he's always hurt.
Zion's hurt, really?
Well, he's always hurt.
Is he not playing?
He's just always hurt. But I'll tell you, here's something good. New Orleans for Taylor Swift was the safest the French Quarter's been maybe in 50 years. Because it was nothing but a bunch of, I would say adolescent to middle-aged women who were just handing out friendship bracelets and singing friendly songs and being nice to each other.
But that doesn't piss you off, though?
What?
That it could have been always been clean like that and nice?
Sure.
That kind of pisses me off.
Sure, but you got to start somewhere.
I get it. It can be done. It was done. It should always be that way.
Yeah.
You shouldn't fear for your life when you're walking down in the French Quarter.
That's true. So how's your week going?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We finally got some rain, planted the food plots. I went to Clegg's, got some Buckbusters.
What about BBD?
I didn't get any BBD.
No?
Nope. But I did get some Buckbusters Premium, 2 bags.
As it says on the bag, BBD is a buck buffet.
That is a buck buffet.
So you got Buckbusters over at Clegg's?
Got some Buckbusters.
Rice bran?
Did not get rice bran.
Deer corn?
I got some corn.
Okay.
And I got some Buckbusters at Clegg's.
Mo-Bucks?
They did have Mo-Bucks, but I didn't need it.
Okay.
I just needed the Buckbusters.
They got it all over at
250-pound bags.
Wow. Look at
So
that.
got that out. That's good. We finally got some rain. Thank you, man. It was nasty.
Did the phones at Parish ring all day today?
Yes. Dude, I've got a leak at one of my houses, too.
Oh, one of your houses?
So I had the Parish boys out there.
How about that? I had a leak at one of my houses today.
The Parish folks out there. I'm the idiot with two houses 3 miles from each other, okay? I'm not proud of that.
Yeah.
That's the dumbest thing in the world.
Can't hide money, y'all.
No, bro. That's just stupidity. I'll go to my second house 3 miles down the road. Like, okay, it'd be cool if it was in the mountains or on the beach. Mine's
It's not
neither.
It's not an Aspen.
No.
You're not on 30A.
I'm off bright side. Oh, boy, Ryan, stay hot.
Stay hot, dude. How about you sell that thing? Somebody want to buy Ryan's house? Would someone buy this house from him so I can stop hearing about it?
I think I got to take her, though. I don't even think I'm going to have to list it.
Good.
So that's a good thing. But it's ready. Anyway, been a good week. It's been a very productive week. Things that I can't really go into a whole lot of detail just yet, but I would like to, but I will soon. So been a good week on the work front. We had a Halloween last night.
Oh, how was that?
It was good.
It rained.
But it was still good. Made the best of it.
Yeah. Felt bad for all the kiddos. It just wasn't as popping as it usually is in the hood for Halloween because of all the rain.
It didn't bother the kids. It bothered the parents, I'm sure, more than it did the kids. They still made it happen. But anyway, had a couple things happen last night, and it's happened to me recently at some events that I've attended.
Okay.
I've been trying to make a concerted effort to get out there and network more, be better at that. You know, it's something that I struggle with. I don't necessarily love being in big crowds, and admittedly, I just, whatever. But I've been trying to be better. But anyway, this may be the reason why I don't like to do it, what I'm going to talk about today.
Okay.
Okay, dear close talkers, and people that talk too much, and people that have bad hygiene. Okay. First off, I'm going to need y'all to brush your damn teeth and use deodorant. First. Not asking a lot. If you eat a doo-doo sandwich for lunch.
What is a doo-doo sandwich?
I don't know, but your mouth smells like you ate a doo-doo sandwich for lunch. If you eat a doo-doo sandwich for lunch, have the awareness to rinse with some Listerine or Scope before jumping in a conversation with me. Please.
How about just keep some gum in your car?
Or just keep some gum in your car. Man. Okay. Foods to avoid when invading others' personal space include garlic. Cool Ranch Doritos.
Oh, I love me some Cool Ranch
But
Doritos.
they make your breath smell horrible.
Don't care.
Pickles.
Yeah.
Or anything pickled. For that matter. Hot fries, by the way, will get you if you let them.
Oh, will they?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Like with the little cartoon guy on the bag?
They'll get you. Pork rinds. They'll get you, too. Don't get in somebody's face after eating a bag of pork rinds. I'm sure there's plenty more. I overlooked some of those. But often overlooked also, and you can't forget about this, if you drink a lot of milk, especially if you have facial hair, where the milk may have gotten stuck on the facial hair and sat there for a little while.
And it's like a rancid milk smell.
Stay your ass away from me. If you're blowing hot dragon breath in other people's face, I think that's super rude. I don't like that. But also, it's very inconsiderate to those of us who spend time on our personal hygiene. Myself, I do. I spend time doing that. I think that's important. I take pride in that. It's none of my business if you choose not to shower or if you don't like to clean your ass. I don't care. But when you walk by me and it smells like the poo plant on Gardner Lane and I get the waft, you ever been in that area when the wind blows a little bit?
A little stiff breeze comes through a little bit. It's like, oh.
When it switches.
Just came through here.
Now you've made it my business, Matt.
The poo plant.
I don't know what it is, but you guys with yuck mouth, y'all like to come close and talk to people.
Yeah. Well, could I argue that if you have the lack of awareness to know that your mouth stinks, your breath stinks, then you too would have the lack of awareness to know that you shouldn't be close talking someone with your bad smelling mouth? It's just a general lack of awareness of other people. That's the big umbrella of my pet peeves in life. It's just people who are inconsiderate.
Yeah. And with all the close talking, you inevitably get a little spray on folks. And that's, to me, is really gross. Nothing more disgusting than getting a little unwanted mouth moisture from someone whose breath smells like they just ate a paper bag full of booty holes.
Paper bag full of booty holes. It's a new one.
If you and I are in a conversation and I check my phone more than once, that's a polite way of me saying, gonna need to wrap this up. You and I are sitting there talking, or you're talking to me and I'm not saying a whole lot, and I look at my phone.
Yeah. Oh, excuse me, I gotta go.
And then I do it again.
Yeah.
That means I'm trying to be nice, but I don't want to talk to you. I can't stand being trapped in a conversation with someone who just can't seem to be able to get to the point. I don't have time for chit-chat. I speak when spoken to. It's what I do. I listen. Try not to talk. I listen. Hear what you have to say. I ask questions that have something to do with the conversation. That's important to me. I don't talk about random crap to people. I don't waste other people's time. Don't waste my time. I really don't care what your kid wore for Halloween last year. And I don't care why you wore it. Of course you stopped eating sugar to lose all that weight. There's no reason to document each and every meal that you've eaten for the last month. To me, I get it. If you couple no sugar with Ozempic, you're going to lose weight. Millions of people have done that. Newsflash, you don't need to tell me, and I don't care. I really don't care. And you're in my face, and your breath smells bad. The bro hug in the middle of a conversation means the conversation's done. Stop trying to continue to talk.
You hug in the middle of a conversation?
When I'm trying to get out, all right, man, hey, good to see you.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's over.
At that point, it's over.
Take the cue.
I need all you guys to have some awareness, observe a little bit more, talk a little bit less. Sincerely, Ryan.
It's After Further Review. We'll continue. Little Kick Rocks next. Safar.
After Further Review.
Brought to you by Glow Resources, GLO, glowresources.com. At Glow Resources, they are complete employer solutions. Say it often. If you're an employee looking for work, don't call Glow Resources. They will find you. Who Glow Resources wants to talk to is you, the business owner. You, the business owner that's struggling to find the right people for your job. Maybe you're hiring, but you keep finding people that either aren't efficient, aren't qualified to do the job, either with a skill set or just physically qualified to do the job that you need, or they're just unreliable. They don't show up on time. Maybe things pop up all the time that take them away from work that make you less efficient. Maybe it takes them 2 hours to do something it should take 30 minutes to do. Well, how do you find the right people? Glow Resources has years of experience and tens of thousands of interviews a year to know the right questions to ask to find the right people for your job to make you more efficient. Check them out online at glowresources.com.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs, even in the case of an after-hours emergency.
After Further Review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
Yo, you know we going down in the studio, that 9-5 radio, check it out, Kegel Slim Cannon,
Yeah! Hey, what kind of Halloween candy did you give out?
We didn't give out any Halloween candy. I turned the lights off.
What?
I turned the lights off.
Y'all are big Halloween people. John showed up at the parish office yesterday in a Halloween costume. Like, why didn't you?
We didn't stay at the house for Halloween.
Oh, what'd y'all do?
We went elsewhere and had a blast. Did some trick-or-treating. Did a little more hanging out than trick-or-treating.
Where'd you go?
I did it.
You went to U Club. Rode around in a golf cart.
I did not.
The thing that you.
I
the
did
thing
not.
That you,
I did
the
not.
The thing that you purported. Every year I got to sit here and listen to your letter about the people in the university club with their kids riding around on golf carts, joyriding, speeding all through, just tanking the whole neighborhood and everything. You went and did it.
I didn't.
Moms drunk on their daiquiris and their glasses of wine
That
and their
happened.
go cups. I'm sure it did.
I saw that.
You go in on that every year, and now you're part of it.
It was more subdued because of the rain. The rain actually did a good thing.
You know what else?
For the U Club.
You also, I've heard you go in on 38, and then this year you went to 38 and you loved it.
Really,
and now you're
really
you're a U Club Halloween guy. Huh.
Went to my guy.
Look at what we got here.
Went to my guy Kelly Balfour's house.
Okay.
That had a good time there. I did enjoy it. I did not ride on a golf cart.
Tell you what. I don't know. Smell that?
I didn't do it.
Smell that? Smells like hypocrisy.
Hey man, we can all change. We can change. Look, I'll be the first one to admit it. Okay, 38 is great.
I don't even know you anymore.
I love 38.
Who are you?
I like Navarre too. But 38 is good.
What are you going to tell me next? You're never going to theme park? You've outgrown theme parks?
So I did ride roller coasters and I enjoyed Disney World. I'm just changing. You can change. People can change.
We should adapt and evolve in life, no doubt. But sometimes you have a core ethos, and when you go opposite that ethos, you start to wonder what is actually at the core of the person. And that's what I'm starting to wonder with you.
I'm just willing to experience new things, man. You know.
You know what? Since you went to U Club last night for Halloween and rode on golf carts and got tanked on wine and a go cup, you can kick rocks.
It's time to kick rocks with Ryan Theriot.
Kick rocks.
Presented by Ruckus. Kick rocks with shoes from Ruckus. Jones Creek Road in Baton Rouge, or go to ruckus103.com.
Tom Brady can kick rocks. That's a standing kick rocks, but this one's
a perpetual kick rock.
Kick rocks.
Did you prepare?
Yeah. Okay, you can kick rocks for being a middle midget.
Kick rocks.
Costing your team 4 points.
They can kick a whole bag of rocks for that.
Get on down the road and kick rocks.
You outlined it earlier. Louisiana sports at this very moment, professionally, collegiately, can kick rocks. Not a whole lot of good that's going on.
No.
LSU's on a bye this week. The Saints are going to lose again. It's not a whole lot going on good for Louisiana sports. So that can kick rocks.
Get on down the road and kick rocks.
Rain during holidays can kick rocks. Halloween in particular, but also Christmas. It really stinks because kids like to go outside and play with their toys. But last night, Mother Nature threw us a curveball. We had rain, which dampened the spirits of the ghosts and ghouls around town.
Not going to lie to you, though, there, Big Bad Bry guy. Selfishly, every time it rains, I'm a little excited. It means the phones are going to ring over at Parrish. Because as I tell people all the time, there's only 2 ways to know if you got a roof issue. You let us come do a free, no-obligation roofing inspection, or it rains, you get water in your house.
Yeah.
So when it rains,
people get water in their house.
I know the phones are going to ring a little bit. So I'm a little excited when I see it rain. It did stink last night, though, for everybody. You know, we always have the big family gathering at our house. All the kiddos come and they trick or treat it in our neighborhood. But even like all the nieces and nephews are all grown up now, so they don't even go trick or treat. Everybody comes over and they hand out candy. Erica dressed as Taylor Swift.
Saw that.
She put Drew in a Travis Kelce outfit.
Yep, he looked great.
And by Travis Kelce outfit, he had on a Travis Kelce T-shirt and baseball pants.
And a baseball hat.
And a baseball hat with an 87 on it. I'm like, I understand my son just, with some sensory issues, he's not going to put a helmet on. But, so the hat was fine. But the baseball pants, I'm like, can we at least get the kid football pants?
Yeah, and that's unlike her.
We're going to put the kid in a costume. Can we at least go a little bit more accurate here?
Would it be safe to say that Erica was more concerned about her Taylor Swift outfit than she was Drew's Travis Kelce outfit?
No doubt. And let me tell you something else that happened here.
Well, we need to have a little talk, her and I.
Well, I'll tell you what else happened is E-Rock there went and bought a little $10 microphone that she bejeweled. And but it works. She put batteries in it, and it actually, the microphone works. You can Bluetooth your phone to it. So she hooks her phone up. She's playing Taylor Swift songs, and it's like a karaoke microphone that's wireless. And every kid in the neighborhood that came by, she made the kids hold the microphone and sing their favorite Taylor Swift song.
And meanwhile, poor Drew's got 2 different sports on. The poor kid just wanted some football stuff. That's it. But she just threw him in some baseball stuff, and
now here we are. All Drew really wanted was probably to go inside and play on his iPad. But there we are, right there. Erica dressed as Taylor. There's Drew in his Kelce uniform, and Erica made me wear a security T-shirt.
So you're her security.
I was their security.
You're their security.
Apparently, yeah. There we are.
Now her outfit's great. It's obvious that Erica spent more time on her outfit than everyone else's.
Yeah. And she didn't look. She looked more like Hannah Montana than she did Taylor Swift. She didn't look nothing like Taylor Swift.
I got a little Hannah vibe.
The hair's too long and it's too blonde.
It's unlike her. Normally it's a selfless act. Normally it's I'm gonna make this special for everybody else. But I think when Taylor gets involved, I think
Look at my guy. Look at my guy. There's Drew. There's Drew, in his Kelce T-shirt and his baseball pants. With no belt, no baseball belt. I mean baseball pants.
I mean, he looks cute. He looks great.
What are we doing with baseball pants on?
Just unfair to him.
It is.
I mean, what's he gonna do? Get in the car and go buy his own pants?
Yeah, no.
He can't drive yet.
Can't drive. What are we gonna do?
He was just playing the cards that he's dealt.
I know. Got no options.
Mike Tyson can kick rocks.
And wear these baseball pants.
Kick rocks.
Careful now.
Nah, he can kick rocks.
Okay.
Once the most feared fighter on the planet, played his video game.
Yeah.
Big fan. I actually was at my storage unit yesterday. I got an autographed Tyson glove that I want to go put up somewhere. Big Tyson guy here. God, just watching his highlights.
Full size glove?
It's a real glove. It's a real thing. I do. I've also got.
Where'd you get it?
I've also got a Rocky glove that Sylvester signed. Which I think is pretty neat.
I'm not so into that.
Yeah.
Where'd you get the Tyson autograph glove?
So when I used to do autograph signings, I never got paid. I didn't take money. I would trade for things that the people had.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's why I know in your office and everything, you got a lot of you got like Stan Musial jersey, don't you? Willie Mays?
Willie Mays, Hank Aaron.
Hank Aaron, yeah, I got a lot of stuff.
Bob Gibson.
Yeah.
Mickey Mantle.
Yeah.
No big deal.
Jersey?
Yeah.
Autograph jersey? NBD?
If you like that type of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, if he was any good or not, I don't know.
Well, I mean, then again, he also spent the last 20 years of his life, like Pete Rose did, just being paid to sign his name endlessly. So it's not like there's any lack of merchandise out there with an autograph.
Yeah, but it's still cool.
Sure, it's cool. I think it's probably devalued a bit because he signed so much stuff near the end.
Well, Mike Tyson can kick rocks for fighting a YouTuber.
Okay.
I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. I don't think he should do it. I think it's dumb. It's like Jordan going to play pickup basketball against, name a guy.
I'm
just
going to respectfully disagree. It's like if Jordan went to the Big Three, went to like Ice Cube's Big Three and got paid millions of dollars to do it. I don't blame him. One iota.
It's like
go get your money, Mike.
No, it's like
Still
no,
wanna
because
fight?
this
Go
is a
fight.
real fight. This
Yeah,
is
it's a real
going
fight.
on his record.
So
No.
who cares? He's 59
He
years
obviously
old.
doesn't care.
By the way, did
I
you
care.
see the Primo seats that they're selling for $2 million?
What?
So listen to this. So there's an entertainment company. So Tyson and is it which one of the Pauls is it? Is he fighting? Which one is it?
Jake.
Paul?
Chris Paul.
Chris Paul?
Chris Paul.
Okay, so he's fighting Chris Paul at Jerry World here in a few weeks. Les Paul? The guitar guy?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Les Paul can fight?
Apparently so. He's fighting Mike Tyson. So apparently there's a package where for $2 million, you get 2 seats in like leather chairs 6 feet from the ring. Like you are on the apron. And you get 6 seats in the second row, or maybe it's 4 seats in the second row. In addition, you're on the stage for the weigh-in. You get a meet and greet with both fighters before the fight. And you get like security escort access around that day and like to your seats and everything like that.
I mean, it actually sounds pretty cool.
I mean, bro, on the apron?
Yeah.
Yeah. And the seats in the second row, like to be ringside, they're going for $50,000.
Yeah.
I mean, sell those. That's 200 bones. You made some of your money back. Or if you got $2 million to spend, what does it matter?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, whoever buys it, it doesn't matter. Like,
You're just buying an experience.
That's a good one.
That is a good one.
That's all I got.
All right, I have a Kick Rocks, but I got to do it after the break so we stay on time. Let me knock out a quick break. We'll come back. Stay here. It's AFR.
After further review.
Brought to you by River City's 1 Hour Air, where they're always on time, or you don't pay a dime. 752-0001, 752-0001, or 1hourbr.com, ONE, 1hourbr.com. You see the big yellow vans and trucks all over town because so many of our friends and neighbors trust River City's 1 Hour Air just like I do. And y'all were in preseason heater safety check mode. Every year around this time, I tell you about it. And every year I tell you I do it. And every year I tell you you should do it. And this isn't lip service. You call River City's 1 Hour Air, ask for the preseason heater safety check. Mention the show. They'll knock $30 off the price. But most importantly, yes, this is going to get your heater clean, running efficiently, so it's tuned up, right? You're going to be running your heater. You want to make sure your home is energy efficient, lower your energy bills, extend the life of your unit, but most importantly, it's to make sure your heater is safe to run during the winter months. 752-0001, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime. Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
Muso's fired.
Muso, don't even come back. By the way, you know where Muso is?
I don't.
All right, Muse. Explained this at the end of the show yesterday, but so Muse, after the show on Wednesday, I knew he had taken vacation because all the vacation requests come to me as program director, so I have to approve time off. So I got the vacation request, and so I approved it, and we got it covered. Alondra's here, and we appreciate her. But he was leaving on Wednesday after the show, and I was like, hey, man, where are you going? He goes, yeah, we're going, I got a bachelor party we're going to. So they're going to the Smoky Mountains, which...
For a bachelor party?
Right.
Were they going to cook s'mores and tell stories in the moonlight?
Well, what he told me was, I'm like, well, what are you going to do? I mean, we did Smokies for a family vacation a few years back. He's like, no, there's like 16 of us. We got this big house with like 2 jacuzzis and indoor pool. He's like, we're going to go to a moonshine distillery and shoot guns. I'm like, that sounds not safe at all. Yeah. And also, it's a bachelor party, and you're going to the Smoky Mountains.
That doesn't make any sense. But the moonshine distillery and the shooting guns part actually does sound kind of fun.
Did you have a bachelor party?
Yeah, but it wasn't like that. It was just me and a bunch of buddies, and everybody in the wedding party went out and just, you know.
Like that sort of bachelor party.
Yeah.
Like, what happened to, when did this become this thing like bachelorette parties now?
Yeah, they do.
I mean, it's like you're either going to Nashville and you're riding on one of them little pedal buses around Nashville.
With the dumb hats and the
bride to be. You going on a plane to the Bahamas or something. I'm like, live your life. Not sitting here in judgment. I just don't know when this became such an industry, this economy of scale around the bachelorette parties. Anyway, that's where Muse is. Muse is in the Smokies, drinking moonshine and shooting guns with a bunch of dudes.
In the hot tub with a bunch of dudes.
In the hot tub,
Drinking
yes.
hot tub, the hot tub, drinking moonshine with a bunch of guys.
I mean,
attaboy, Muse.
For mine, it was
Stay
just
hot.
Wedding party. Like, there was a UFC event in New Orleans that year. So we went to the fights and went out on Bourbon Street.
You went out.
That was it.
Turned up.
That was it.
Yeah.
That was it.
That's what I did. I mean, but it was just all the dudes in the wedding party, same thing. I went to, you know what I did? I just remembered. I went to an LSU basketball game. We were huge underdogs. We beat Kentucky that night.
What year?
It must have been 2002.
Okay. Was it Kentucky or was it Arizona?
Somebody good. I was hammered. I don't remember.
Around Christmas time?
Yeah.
Arizona.
It was Arizona. We beat Arizona.
Arizona was number 1.
And we beat them.
Storm the floor.
Yeah, I remember.
02?
That's about all I remember that night. I don't know. I'm not, see, like the load up on the plane, go to Vegas with the guys, you're asking for trouble. Okay?
It's not mine.
Hop in the car with the girls, put the Venmo on the back for the wedding thing, and go to Nashville and ride the stupid, like, you're asking for trouble. Like, somebody's going to get in trouble. It's just nothing good happens. Now, Muse could come back with some info.
What do you mean?
I mean, you never know. He's in a hot tub with a bunch of guys drinking moonshine.
What kind of info?
Muse could come back a different man.
I don't understand what you mean.
Well, just think about it.
I'd rather not.
Well, just saying. What happens in the Smokies stays in the Smokies.
Are you implying there's some Brokeback Mountain vibes in the Smoky Mountains? Is that what you're implying?
I mean, listen.
Paul loves it. When I look over Paul's head's down, I just see his shoulders shrugging like that. Like Paul's laughing at it.
Spending all day at the Moonshine Distillery.
I wish I knew how to quit you. Oh, man.
Rough hike through the Smokies. Hey, guys, you guys want to go unwind in the hot tub? I mean, I don't know. With his hat on from...
All Smalls. All right, I have a kick rocks that I didn't get to in a second. We're brought to you by South Point Volkswagen, southpointvw.com. Poor Muse, not even here to defend himself. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at southpointvw.com. They're the best, South Point Volkswagen. If you are in the market for a vehicle or might be, check it out at southpointvw.com. Who was here yesterday that was saying, look at that, that's a big vehicle, the Atlas. Who was I talking to? It was somebody at Trick or Treat last night. It was my brother-in-law. It was at Trick or Treat last night. My mom drives an Atlas. Like, that's a big car. I was like, yeah, it's a big car. It's a full-size SUV. 3-row, 7-seater family SUV. It's the Atlas. Go test drive one today at South Point Volkswagen, Louisiana's largest volume Volkswagen dealer. Airline just north of Highland or southpointvw.com. Southpointvw.com. South Point Volkswagen. What's your direction? Okay, I'm going to do very quick kick rocks, and I don't think this is going to be too controversial, but I do want to say this. Because I've been hearing this ad on this station, and I understand that there's people who are listening in Alexandria, in Lafayette, in Lake Charles, in New Orleans, in Shreveport, and all over the place, and who don't hear this locally in Baton Rouge. But I'm going to say this: I am maybe the least political person that you will ever come across. I loathe politics I hate it with the fire of 1,000 suns. For so many reasons. And I will tell you candidly that I like Sid Edwards is running for mayor. And I've known Coach Sid for 35 years. I think he's a wonderful man, and I wish him well. His campaign asked if he could come on the show, and I said no. I was like, if I put Coach Sid on the air, then I have to offer the other candidates equal time, and I'm not doing that. And I also don't ever want to be political because I don't do politics. That's not what I do. I don't do the bait and switch. Like, I hate when I go to a concert to hear people sing songs, and then they're on stage talking to me about their political beliefs, which I don't care. Sing your songs. That's why I'm here. Like, if you want to, in your own free time, do that, fine. But if I bought a ticket to come to a concert, I want to hear your music. If you're turning on the radio, TV, whatever, you're expecting me to hear about sports. So, no, I'm not putting a politician on the air. What I will say that has pissed me off is there's a commercial running that at the end of the commercial says Sid Edwards is a zero for our community. And that's one of the reasons I hate politics. I don't know who's responsible for that. It was some coalition, whatever. And that I wish I could say all the bad words, because let me tell you something about Coach Sid. He's an amazing human being. He's an amazing coach. He's an amazing father. For 35 years, there have been thousands of people that have played for him. And by the way, and I'm not just talking about white kids. I'm going to say the thing nobody wants to say. He's probably the only white guy who brought his ass up to North Baton Rouge to go coach at a Struma, where there's poverty and blight everywhere. He was at Redemptrist in North Baton Rouge. When white people and educators keep running away from black communities, Coach Sid is a good man. Listen, I don't care who you vote for. Vote for whoever you want to vote for. That's not what this is about. What this is about is why I hate the political stuff so much is because of stuff like that. You take a good man and you try to drag him and say he's a zero for our community, bleep you. That man's done more for so many communities and so many kids in sports and academics and everywhere that it annoys the holy hell out of me. Why? Because you're power hungry and you want to get in an office, so you gotta disrespect this candidate and try to drag their names. That's crap. So I'm not endorsing a candidate. You vote for who you want for. I don't care. I'm not sitting here talking about issues of politics or anything. But if you're gonna sit there and try to discredit that man, saying he's a zero for our community, bleep you and the horse you rode in on. I hope the horse dies, your car breaks down, and you never get home. That annoys the ever-living hell out of me. Vote for who you want to. But vote for who you want to based on things that matter to you, not because some idiot puts an ad out there and says somebody's a zero, when that person has committed their entire adult life to helping young people and kids and coaching and developing people. Like, that annoys me. So
which in turn helps the community.
Yeah, whatever.
I'm voting for Sid.
I don't care who you're voting for.
I'm just saying.
I don't care who you're voting for.
That's what I'm voting for.
And I don't care who anybody else is voting for. It's not about that. That's why I hate politics. And that's maybe the most political thing we'll ever do on this show. All right, I'm just going to move on. All right, we got a pick'em segment coming up in the next hour. We'll talk a little Saints-Panthers, regrettably. Thankfully, that game will be over soon. We can stop talking about the two worst teams in the NFL. We'll get to Ask Ryan here in the next segment, so you can get your questions in for Theriot. You can email us, tweet us, or text us in the 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. I guess I'll ask you quickly for a thought on the World Series. I know I wasn't here last Friday, but you picked the Yankees, I was told.
It's hopeful. I wanted them to win.
So did I.
I picked them. Do you want the thought now?
Yeah.
So L.A. had a couple guys that stepped up. Walker Buehler, Freddie Freeman, the bottom of their lineup. You know, you didn't see the Stars really do what the Stars did all year long, but Walker Buehler in particular going head-to-head against another ace and pitching his butt off, then coming in and closing the game last night. I thought that was huge. Yeah, the Yankees made some mistakes, but when you go down 3-0 and everybody's just trying to get the series back to L.A., let's just get it back to L.A., newsflash, those guys didn't want to go back to L.A. They knew what was probably going to happen if they got on that plane, flew 4 hours, had to win all those games. They were checked out. Once they went down 3-0, I just know how these locker rooms.
You mean the Yankees were checked out?
Correct.
Oh, the Yankees didn't want to go.
Correct. You can say all you want.
Dog.
I've been in the locker room. I know the feeling. And maybe not all of them. I'm not saying every one of them was going, yeah, this is over. But I promise you, there were a few that were going, oh, man, I don't know about this. Got to go back to L.A. 4 hours away. My house is already packed up. My car's already packed up. Like, man, we ain't going this thing.
I'm not discrediting that. I mean, because their feeling is probably a lot of the same way a lot of people were feeling. But at the same time, when they took the 5-0 lead, it's one of those feelings like, don't let them get hot. You can't win 4 without winning the first one. They got it. And then you had Cole on the mound. It's like, you win 2. Well, guess what? Now whose bunghole's getting a little tight? And you're up 5-0, and the way that it collapsed was just inexcusable, and that's what really annoys me. I didn't expect them to come back and win the series when you're down 3-0. There's a reason that's been done once ever, right? I get it. But at the same time, they should have been flying back to L.A. To play tonight in Game 6, and it's disappointing that they're not. But, I mean, look, you had your chance. I mean, you led in the 8th inning in Game 1. You had a chance to steal Game 1. You're up 5-0 in Game 5.
That was a turning point.
Get away.
Game 1 was a turning
point. No doubt. Because you weren't winning Game 2.
That's right.
So, anyway. All right, it's After Further Review. We're glad you're with us. Friday shows are brought to you by Don Juan Cigar Bar. We'll knock out a quick break. Come back. We'll do Ask Ryan. Get your questions in. You can ask Theriot anything about anything. Email us, tweet us, text us, 225-396-4400, 396-4400. It's AFR.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Action Industries, proud partner of LSU Athletics. ActionINC.com for Action Industries Incorporated. I've been servicing the petrochemical and refinery markets here in our communities since 1982. 42 years, man. 42 years. And one of the things that I've grown to know and respect the most about Action Industries is, as a business, they know who and what they are and what they aren't. Like, if you are hiring for or taking bids for this, one of those mega projects, right? The $100 million projects. That's not Action Industries. Their sweet spot is that 100-person project, because while you may hire that giant industrial contractor and you feel like your 100-man job isn't a priority, for Action Industries, that's their sweet spot. You get all of their best people and their best attention. It's at Action Industries. ActionINC.com for Action Industries, proud partner of LSU Athletics.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram can get you in a new 2024 Ram 1500 truck for only $32,898. $32,898 for a new Ram 1500 truck. All new Bayou Automotive vehicles come with a complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our #1 product is always customer satisfaction. Visit us.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
Wrapping up hour number 2. We're glad you're with us here. We'll get to our college football pick'em segment here after the top of the hour. All right, it's time for Ask Ryan. We're wrapping up hour number 2. You can ask Theriot anything about anything, so email us, tweet us, text us in the 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-440.
Tough one. I don't know. You don't. Why they keep losing?
William James asked Ryan, Dunham versus Episcopal. Who wins?
Oh, Dunham's going to win. They got the best player in the state. But Episcopal's got a good club as well. Got 2 really good running backs at Episcopal. Scrappy team.
Scrappy. Tuition Bowl.
Yeah, there's a lot of money on that field today.
See how it goes. All right, here comes Sports Center. When we come back, our college football pick'em segment. Stick around.
AFR.
Are you thinking of buying land?
Always thinking of buying land, yes.
Well, if you're thinking of buying land, you should call First South Farm Credit. That should be your first call. It should be to First South Farm Credit because since 1916, First South Farm Credit has done one thing: help Louisianians buy land. And not just in Louisiana. Hunting property in Mississippi, First South Farm Credit. By the way, the first pick of the 1989 MLB draft, Ben McDonald, when he bought his hunting property, his first call was First South Farm Credit. You hear Big Ben on the spots all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Timberland for an investment property, maybe. Great tax write-off. Talk to your CPA. First South Farm Credit. 30 acres in St. Francisville, 100 acres in Covington. You want to build your family's dream home? First South Farm Credit can make it happen. Just go to firstsouthland.com. That's firstsouthland.com for First South Farm Credit.
The only thing scary about the deals at Bayou Ford is if you miss out on them, like $15,000 off F-150. Bayou Ford has $15,000 off Ford F-150. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. The Fever hire Indiana native Stephanie White as their new head coach. White left the Connecticut Sun after 2 years, and now she'll get to coach young stars Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston. There's another top 5 college football matchup tomorrow. Third-ranked Penn State hosting number 4 Ohio State. So, is this a big game? Penn State coach James Franklin.
West Virginia to open the season was a big game. Bowling Green was a big game. If you don't think it wasn't, lose to Bowling Green and see how people react. They're all big games. This is the big game because of how we've handled the previous 6.
James Franklin's Nittany Lions are 7-0. The Buckeyes are 6-1. SMU quarterback Kevin Jennings is cleared to start tomorrow night for the 20th ranked Mustangs when they host number 18 Pitt. He had an undisclosed injury. Joel Embiid and Paul George will both sit out again when the 76ers host the Grizzlies tomorrow night. Neither has played yet this season. Both have left knee injuries.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Commercial Insurance. It flexes to fit your business's needs. From quick repairs to adjustable coverages and even payment options, Progressive Commercial makes it easy to get what you need. Quote today in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio.
Let's rock! You can't handle the
Riot Radio Hour.
Let's do that again.
Guess who's back again?
I want some more.
The Riot Radio Hour.
Well, let's start the insanity. Giddy up.
With Matt Moscona and Ryan Theriot.
Let me find out your ass spanks the hide your gut.
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Alondra Villarreal. And Theriot. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Yeah, bruh.
Yeah, bruh.
All right, it's 5 o'clock quitting time. We're glad you're driving home with us. Presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. No whiskey and wine tomorrow.
Nope.
As it is an open date for LSU. What are you going to do tomorrow?
I don't know what I'm going to do. You know what I need to do?
What do you need to
go
do?
by Ruckus.
Are you really going to go?
I need to go. I'd like to.
Do they have anything new?
There's 2 pairs of shoes over there I need to go pick up. And they absolutely, I mean, they always have new stuff. I did see some Halloween-themed things.
Ruckus103.com, Ruckus103.com, Ruckus103. Oh, wow.
Throw it on the screen.
Paulie, pull this up. Look at the dunks. Orange and black dunks.
Oh, man, that's right.
Where did they go? Wait, it was on the home screen. Where did they go when I clicked the thing?
There they are. There they are. Yep.
I need them.
Can you zoom in on them a little bit? Is the bottom? That's not even a white. That's more of a coral. Oh, you got to go get those.
That's cream. That's not coral.
Those are good.
It's like bone.
That's bone.
Jalen, pull me a pair. 13s. Orange and black dunks. Last time we were there, I got orange and black G-Nikes. Remember?
I like those right there.
I love these.
Yeah, I want to go to Ruckus. There's a couple pairs I got to go pick up. I'm not going to get the orange and blacks, but...
Oh, and they got 13s. Jalen, pull a pair for your boy.
Hook your boy up.
Oh, my goodness. I'll go with you tomorrow.
Okay.
Are you really going to go?
I'd like to go. I think I can go. I think I'm going to go. I don't know exactly when, but yeah, I would like to go.
All right, if you go,
okay,
grab me those if I can't go with you. Tell me when you're going. I'll go with you.
Okay.
We'll meet up there. And then we can go to Les Amos. Let's make a day, you and me.
Like a play date?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll go to Les Amos and get some macaroons.
Pick up some macaroons.
Maybe a cappuccino.
Okay.
And then we'll go to Ruckus. It's the same side of town.
It's over there.
They're 5 minutes from each other.
Yeah.
Oh, this would be such a good little Saturday. Nice little Saturday.
Okay.
But we got to go before the games start. So we can go like 10. Go get some.
Ruckus opens at 10.
Let's go at 10. Well, let's go to Les Amos at 10. So we'll go to Les Amos, get some macaroons and a coffee, and then we'll go over to Ruckus. We'll get our shoes, and then we'll go about our way, and I'll go home and watch football.
Okay.
And you'll go do whatever you do.
In the meantime, I'm going to go to ruckus103.com tonight, and I'm going to pick out what I'm going to go get tomorrow.
So good. RUKUS, ruckus103.com. Baton Rouge and Lafayette, 2 locations. Or ruckus103.com.
I love that place.
Okay, Alondra, hit us with our college football pick'em music. Theriot has completely whiffed on guest pickers all year. Can you at least get us somebody next week for Bama?
Yeah, I'm going to try my best.
Shoot me a text on the text line who Theriot should book as the guest picker for Bama next week. 225-396-4400, 396-4400. Little louder? Come on, little louder. 396-4400, 396-4400. All right. I rallied a bit there in the past few weeks. Last Friday, I was down in New Orleans for Taylor Swift, but I did get Paul my picks. So, Paul, let's see how we did last week with our picks. A 10-0 week for me. You went 0-10?
No, I don't think so.
Did you go 0-10 last week?
No. That's not what happened.
Well,
I don't think that's what took place.
It says Matt Moscona last week went 10-0. I got Paul my picks.
Nah,
and you went 0-10?
No, because we picked games last week.
Did you pick the right games? I gave Paul the list.
I picked the games that the host told me to pick.
Who?
Muse, the guy sitting in your
that's
chair.
his problem.
Well, he said these are the
I'm the host
games.
of the show.
I know, but you weren't here.
I'm the host of the show.
But you weren't.
I gave my picks to Paul.
But you weren't hosting last week.
Oh, my goodness. Did you really wear the collar? So let me see the graphic again, Paulie. So after my 10-0 week, that moves me to 57-28. And you, after going 0-10, fall to 50-35.
I don't think
so.
that's
Paulie,
what
did he
happened.
go 0-10 just because? Did he submit his picks, or so he gets a bagel for not submitting picks?
I did not get any picks from Theriot.
Oh no, man! You had been winning all season too.
Was Paul here last
now,
week?
not only am I winning, I'm winning big.
Wait a minute.
Wow!
Hold the phone. I picked 10 games last week. I just picked the games that were. You know what? We'll pull the audio from last week. I'm pretty sure I picked games. I was here.
Oh no!
I picked whatever game. Do you remember the games you picked?
You hate to see it.
Do you remember the games that you picked?
We've picked. Pull that graphic up again, Paulie, real quick. So we've picked nearly 100 games.
Right.
Do you think I remember every game I picked? Hell no, I don't remember what games I picked. But I gave Paul the list of my picks last week.
I know I picked games last week. I felt pretty good about the games that I picked.
I'm not denying that you picked games, but maybe you just picked the wrong ones. You didn't get Paulie your picks?
No,
Boy,
I don't think.
that's really unfortunate.
Whatever the host told me to do is what I did.
That's unfortunate. They led you astray. So all of a sudden now Scone with a 7-game lead.
I don't know about that.
How about this? The turns of table. Scone, after digging an early hole, dug all the way out, had gone even just about neck and neck with Mr. The Riot. And now a 10-0 week for Scone, an 0-10 week for Tero, and now a commanding lead. A commanding lead with 5 weeks to go in the regular season.
I'm not picking.
My goodness.
I quit.
Wow.
I quit. I know I picked them last week. I felt really good about my picks last week.
Well, you got some ground to make up here.
Protesting.
Here we go. You're going to wear the collar again?
Protesting. Not doing it.
Well, here's what we do. We pick today. We listen to me.
No, I picked last week.
Listen to
though.
me.
Here's the issue.
Listen to me.
Here's the problem here.
We'll pick today, and you can have the contest proceed under protest, as you would in a game, right? So we'll consider your protest. Heretofore, we will consider your protest. We'll hear all sides, but let us, for the sake of time and moving things along, let's pick the games for this week.
That's fair.
Okay.
But I need to get the 0-10 and the 10-0 off. I mean,
Paulie, did my picks go undefeated?
They did, yes.
Okay. Why should my 10-0 be stricken?
Well, I had some picks.
I'm sure you picked the right games.
You actually, I think you went 1-9 last week. That's what happened last week. You did win one.
How did I go 1-9? I gave my picks to Paul, and he said I went 10-0.
Paul, were you here last week? You were here last week.
So I gave my picks to Paul, and he said I went 10-0. And what picks are you saying that I went 1-9?
We picked last week.
Oh, you picked for me.
I picked last week.
You picked for me?
I was just trying to be fair.
Oh, you picked for me.
I was trying to be fair.
You picked for me.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what happens here, Mr. The
I was
Riot.
trying to be fair.
We're gonna have
I didn't want to give you the collar.
We're going to have a
I picked some
conversation.
games,
Let me tell you
trying
something.
to be nice.
Let me tell you something.
Just, hey,
you're going to learn a lesson the hard way here.
Okay.
This is a radiotatorship. It is not a radiocracy.
Wow, you were at Taylor Swift.
You think you were going to pull a fast one on me? Look how red-faced you are right now.
I'm just trying to be nice.
You thought while I was gone, you were going to pull a fast one on me, and you know what? This is a radiotatorship. You can't troll a troll, and ain't no way you're going to try to hang a 1-9 on me, brother man. I'm going to tell you straight up what just happened. You got, dog. That's what just happened. You thought you were pulling a fast one, and what happened is you got, brother man. So I say we just move on and pick games for this week.
I got to get the 0-10 off.
I'll consider it. After all, this is a radiotatorship and not a radiocracy. And I sure as hell ain't going to let someone get one over on me on my show. You heard? Ohio State at Penn State. Who you got?
Ohio State.
I'm taking Penn State. Ole Miss at Arkansas. Who you got?
I got Arkansas.
I'm taking Ole Miss. Vandy at Auburn. Who you got?
Vandy.
I'm taking Vandy. By the way, Vandy's an 8-point dog. 8-point underdog. That's such a stinky line. It makes you feel like I should go Auburn. Usually when there's a stinky line, it's a stinky line for a reason. You go that way. But I'm going, I just think people just think it's Vandy. They're like, oh, Vandy at Auburn, I'll go Auburn. No, I'm like,
that little quarterback's good.
Give me Diego. I'm with you. We both picked him. Oregon at Michigan.
Oregon.
I'll take Oregon also. My pen's running out of ink. Paul, are you writing these down? Okay. Paul's noting the picks. Florida, Georgia.
Georgia.
Georgia as well. Kentucky, Tennessee.
Where's that one at?
Knoxville.
Tennessee.
Yeah, Kentucky stinks. Why do they keep Mark Stoops employed?
They make a big deal out of him early in the year, every year.
Right.
Every
like
year.
a couple of years ago, they won 10 games, and it's like build him a statue.
Yeah.
They stink.
Yes.
Indiana at Michigan State.
Indiana.
I like Indiana. They just kind of keep trucking along, huh?
I like Indiana.
They're going to play somebody for real eventually. Michigan State coming off an emotional rivalry game last week against Michigan. But Indiana emotional last week at home with I'm big on spots, you know. I'm big on spots. Not who you play, but when and where you play them. But I'll take Indiana as well. I'll keep riding. They've been great. A&M at South Carolina.
We need South Carolina to beat them. And I'm going to pick them. And I'm going to pull for them. And I'm going South Carolina.
I agree. I don't think A&M's very good. I think Mike Elko's done a tremendous job. But I'll say this. Similar to what happened with Georgia-Bama, where everybody chose to focus on the first half when Bama got the big lead, they ignored the second half where Georgia dump trucked them.
They did.
Where Bama had 16 yards in the second half, and Georgia overcame a 28-point deficit. It's like, no, Bama ain't that good. Georgia just kept throwing it to the other team. Same thing happened with LSU and A&M last week. LSU didn't prepare for Marcel Reed, and Garrett Nussmeier started seeing ghosts. You forget that LSU was dominating so much, they pulled their stinking quarterback. South Carolina's defense is good. I think at home, night game, coming off a bye, 2 weeks to prepare. A&M, emotional win, now on the road, physical. Oh, give me South Carolina. I'm a big believer in the spot.
Yeah.
Not just who you play, but when and where you play them. I like South Carolina to win it.
Okay.
Louisville, Clemson.
We need Louisville to win this one too, but I'm going to pick Clemson.
I'll take Clemson also. And finally, Pitt at SMU. Pitt's undefeated. SMU's a one-loss team. So it's a big game for the ACC. That's why we're picking. It's a big game for the ACC.
At SMU?
Yeah.
Pitt's got the quarterback from here, huh?
Yeah, Eli Holstein.
Yeah, let me pick those guys.
You're on Pitt?
Yeah.
All right, we'll go head-to-head. I'll take SMU in that game. Give me SMU at home. All right, it's after further review. There's our picks. Again, we'll take last week under protest.
It's under protest.
And we'll consider how we want to move forward.
You think Penn State's going to win?
I do, yeah.
Are they for real? Is Penn State for real?
I think Penn State's defense is very good. Drew Aller, who was hurt last week, is going to play for Penn State. I think very emotional crowd at home for Penn State this week. This has typically been a close series.
Yeah. With
Penn State, Ohio State. And I think it's probably one of those things where you're picking the name on the marquee. Because Penn State has typically they get hyped and then they fall flat. I like Penn State at home in this game. I'm picking Penn State to win it. Yeah. So you went Ohio State. I went. So we went head-to-head on Ohio State, Penn State, Arkansas, Ole Miss.
I kind of picked with my heart on a couple of them.
And then Pitt, SMU. So we got 3 where we disagree. 7 agreement, 3 disagreement. So we'll see how it goes. Okay, it's after further review. Stay here.
AFR.
Brought to you by Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Rouse's.com. Rouse's.com. Guess what Rouse's is doing?
They're giving stuff away.
Yeah. You ready for this?
Yep.
Are you ready for it? Boom, boom, boom. Taylor Swift song. Alondra knows it, right?
I definitely know it.
See?
It's a banger.
What's the next line?
Knew you was a wallet.
Yeah. So anyway, at Rouse's right now, get your Butterball Thanksgiving turkey for free when you buy a Hormel Cure 81 spiral sliced ham for $2.99 a pound. And you get a Butterball Grade A frozen turkey up to 14 pounds for free. How about that? Again, buy a Hormel Cure 81 spiral sliced ham, get a free Butterball Grade A frozen turkey for your Thanksgiving dinner. Limit one per customer with a $25 in-store purchase. Visit Rouses.com for details. Rouses Market, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial properties. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
So the New Orleans Saints are going to go play the Carolina Panthers. From time to time here, we have referenced Dov Kleeman. Do you know who that is?
Dov Kleeman?
Yeah. So I'll give you the very abbreviated Cliff Notes. Dov Kleeman is a guy that's basically just an NFL news aggregator who has a Twitter handle that he doesn't actually report or break any news or anything like that. He just aggregates stuff. Like he'll go and if Schefter breaks something, then he'll go make a post and he'll say like, he'll have the whole thing and say per Adam Schefter.
Okay.
Right. But he's got a very big Twitter following and his 313,000 followers, and his Twitter avatar is like a CGI face. So years ago I made a big deal of this because I was like, how do people not realize Dov Kleeman is like not a real human? Like this isn't really a person. It's just somebody running a Twitter account. There's no picture there. There's no record of him ever having worked anywhere. Like he's not a news guy. He's just a Twitter account that's taking other. Anyway.
Yep, I get it.
This is a long story long, but then someone like did an expose and basically outed Dov Kleeman for this, and he was basically, I just love the NFL and I'm just helping share NFL news. Anyway, I'm not a big fan of the Dov Kleiman account for that reason. Like, he's not actually a guy doing any work. He's just taking other people's stuff and putting it out there. Whatever. But someone did just tag me in this tweet from Dov Kleiman. That is something that isn't attributed to anyone else. It is, I guess, research that Dov Kleiman did and put out on his Twitter account, and it's relevant to the New Orleans Saints. Because how about this? Lowest winning percentage for an NFL head coach over the last 30 years that have coached a minimum of 75 games.
A real coach.
So a minimum, this isn't like, oh, you were an interim for 4 games and you went 0-4.
No.
Minimum 75 games, lowest winning percentage over the last 30 years. 30 years. Back to 1994. 30 years. Doug Marrone, 38%. Dom Capers, 37%. Jim Schwartz, 36%. Romeo Crennel, 33.7%. Dennis Allen, 33.3%. Dennis Allen has the lowest winning percentage for a head coach in the NFL over the last 30 years among coaches that have coached at least 75 games. Hey, man, let me ask you. We'll talk a smidge here about Saints-Panthers. But if you're in that, like, here's what I'm struggling to reconcile, and you have a different perspective from me. Okay, you didn't play football, but you played professional sports. I'm a guy who talks on the radio and has been a fan, right? How in the world is that organization continuing to proceed as if they're on the right path?
It's the people, it's the fans' fault. Because this guy would have been gone last year had the fans stopped showing up.
And
started booing when he walked out on. I've seen it happen. Just stop going.
I'll push back on you because the reality is, with the NFL TV contract, all of these owners, man, they're already in the black before toe meets leather.
I get it.
Because of the TV. And that's not even merchandising and all this stuff. Then Ryan, on top of that, season ticket sales, it doesn't matter if you show up. They've already got your money.
I get it. I understand
when you
that.
bought your tickets and your licenses now, it could certainly hurt with concessions and merch at the game and parking and all that stuff.
And perception and the announcers talking about it. I mean, stop going. Just don't go. Do like they did in Oakland. You don't think the Oakland A's were making money too? Of course they're all making money. The fans quit going. Everybody stopped going. They made it a big deal. Now they're leaving. I mean, you have a Monday night game in New Orleans. Everybody shows up. The place is packed. You're excited. But this is a conversation we had last year too. This guy sucked last year.
But the Oakland problem, and it wasn't just the A's, it's the Raiders too. The Raiders left and went to Las Vegas. Why did the Raiders leave and go to Las Vegas? Because Oakland wouldn't help subsidize a new stadium. So they went to a city that would.
Mm-hmm.
And that's common. Let me not say it's common. That's not uncommon. When you look at teams that relocate, by and large, that's a major part of it. I mean, the Bears are fighting with Chicago right now for a new city. The Chiefs are fighting with Kansas City for a new stadium. Like this, the Saints have fought with the state of Louisiana for years about stadium and state subsidies and all that sort of stuff. But that's what happened there. The Saints aren't going anywhere. I'm just looking at it from the perspective, how do you not actually want to win? Like, what you are doing very clearly is not working. This is going to be 4 straight years that you haven't made the playoffs. And your roster is just getting older and more expensive, and you keep drifting further and further away from relevance. Your head coach, this is data. The worst winning percentage in the last 30 years of a head coach that's coached at least 75 games?
Bro, it was like, this is not like new.
I know.
Like, this has been happening.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, what do you think they are thinking internally? That's the question I'm legitimately asking you is, what do they see internally that literally everybody on the periphery doesn't see.
They obviously think that what they're doing has a chance at winning, which tells me that they don't know what they're doing, that they all need to go. And how does they all need to go happen?
Gail Benson's got to fire him.
They all have to get fired. They all have to go. The whole thing has to stop, and it all has to go. And I get it. Financially, it's not going to kill them to not go to the stadium and not show up. But perceptionally, it's going to put a lot of heat on the person making that decision. When they have to go eat lunch and dinner in the city and they have to talk to people like, hey, nobody's going to watch this crap anymore. We're not showing up. Screw you guys. I mean, what else can you do? I mean, that's the only thing you can do. You can sit here and complain about it and all you want.
I've yelled a lot.
Exactly. The next home game, if they showed up and there were 4,000 people in the stands, that's going to be a big deal.
It ain't going to be 4,000.
I get it, but that would be a big deal.
It could be 40,000.
It'd be a problem. That's how you push back on it. You just say, you know what, screw it.
A week from Sunday, they're home against Atlanta. And, the Falcons is the biggest rivalry game. It's a game people love to go see.
Yeah.
I think the Saints are going to win this week at Carolina. As an illustration of how bad Carolina is, listen to what we're talking about here, right? How bad the Saints are. The Saints are in the middle of their first 6-game losing streak in 20 years. They've lost 6 in a row. They're going on the road. And they're a 7-point favorite in the NFL. The NFL, man. This Saints team is horrendous, and they're a touchdown favorite on the road. That's how bad Carolina is.
Yeah, they stink.
So I do think the Saints are going to win this game because I've watched Carolina try to play defense, and they don't. They allow 34 points a game in the NFL. This ain't some crappy Big 12 school in the fun and gun offense that's allowing 35 a game. This is the National Football League, and you have a defense allowing 35 a game. The Saints are going to go win this game because Carolina is hapless.
Mm-hmm.
The Saints at least have some talent. They're old, and they're not good anymore, and they're not well coached, but you're getting Derek Carr back, and you do have your weapons on offense against that miserable defense. So the Saints may give up some yards and some points in this game, but Carolina is atrocious defensively, and you have Olave, and you're getting Carr back, and your offensive line is getting healthier, and you have Kamara, and you have Taysom Hill. So you're going to move the ball and score points. You're going to win this game against Carolina. We don't need to really break it down more. I could sit here and tell you about the injury report with the Saints having Lattimore and McKinstry all out and Adebo's hurt, so who's going to play corner? I don't care because Bryce Young's throwing the football, and Carolina doesn't have anybody other than Xavier Legette to catch it. So I'm not worried about the Saints' defense. The Saints' defense is the second worst defense in the NFL. Is the worst defense in the NFL, statistically by yards per game. The worst defense, or second worst, is Carolina by scoring. It's the
bad on bad.
Sorry, the New Orleans Saints and the Carolina Panthers are the 2 worst defenses in the NFL as far as yards allowed. Scoring defense by a mile, Carolina allowing 34 a game is abysmal. So you have 2 bad defenses, but the Saints are at least going to be able to move the ball in this game. I don't need to break it down any further than that. The Saints are going to win this game. They're going to give up some yards and some points because the Saints' defense isn't very good. But Carolina's defense is historically bad, and the Saints are getting Derek Carr back. So the Saints are going to win this game. Pick a final score. I don't care. Every team covers against Carolina. I bet Denver last week. I laid 11 points with the Denver Broncos last week against Carolina because Carolina's that bad. And it hit. The Saints are going to win, and they're going to cover because Carolina is atrocious. That's not going to tell you anything about the Saints, though, going to Carolina and beating Carolina because they're awful. So, yes, I think the Saints win and cover. There's an official prediction. I think the Saints are going to win by more than a touchdown in this game. But I still don't know what will have to happen for the Saints organizationally to make some type of move. Because if you haven't done it by now, what do you have to see? What else do you have to see?
I was shocked last year that nothing happened. I was shocked that nothing happened in the offseason. I wouldn't be shocked if nothing happened this offseason, but that's kind of where you're at with it.
I agree with you.
You have to want to win a trophy. You have to want to do that, and it's obvious that they don't.
You see, man, that's just it. I think they do. I just think they're path, their methodology is so flawed and broken. I mean, I don't know any other way to say this. I've said this so many times over the years. I was okay with this win now approach, kicking the can down the road, as everybody says. I was okay with it at the end of the Breeze era because you were trying to get another championship with Drew. And we've seen other organizations do it, man. The Broncos did it with Peyton Manning. You know, the Jets are doing it right now with Aaron Rodgers. Like, you're all in to try to win one with this aging Hall of Fame quarterback. And look, Denver got it. Denver went to 2 Super Bowls with Peyton, and they won one of them. The Saints came close in 18. They got Nola no-called. And I think the organization just can't get off of that hamster wheel. Trying to get back there, but you don't have Drew Brees and Sean Payton anymore. You've got Derek Carr and Dennis Allen. You don't have a Hall of Fame quarterback and coach combo. You've got the worst head coach in the last 30 years in the NFL and a quarterback that at his absolute best is borderline top 10. And the reality of what he is he's a teens, 20s quarterback in the NFL. You're not winning anything of significance. You can win some games, but you're not competing for a championship with these guys. I think the Saints beat the Panthers, but I think they'll come home and lose to Atlanta. Really good chance you're going to lose on your home field to Jameis and the Browns. Really good chance you're going to lose to the Rams as they're finding themselves a bit. I mean, I think you can win at the Giants, but you got to come home against the Commanders, which your rookie quarterback at the start of the season you felt really good about, but the Commanders look awesome right now.
Yep.
You got to go to Green Bay, who's going to be in the midst of a playoff hunt. You're going to have to go in the snow to Lambeau. You can beat the Raiders in your building, and then you got to go to Tampa, who's probably going to be playing for the division or a playoff spot. I mean, I think there's maybe 2 more wins on the schedule. I think you can win. You can beat Carolina. I think you beat the Raiders. Maybe you can steal another one in there somewhere and get yourself to 5.
Does something happen in the offseason if that's the case?
I
If
don't
you're a
know,
5-win
man.
team.
I think it should, but I can't say definitively I think it will. I'm right there with you. Like, if you haven't seen it now, what else do you need to see to get to that point? Right? I mean, how much worse can it get? Careful asking that question, I guess. All right, we're brought to you by Michelli Weighing and Measurement, Michelli.com, Michelli.com. Locations all over the U.S. of A. More than 30 locations across a dozen different states. You weigh or measure something. Michelli sells, services, rents the products that you use to weigh and measure. Check them out online. Find about all the different industries they service, the types of calibration they offer. It's Michelli Weighing and Measurement, Michelli.com, Michelli.com. Use the website as a great resource and learn more. When you call over there, be sure to tell them that you heard about it on AFR. It's Michelli Weighing and Measurement, Michelli.com, Michelli.com. Okay, y'all, it's after further review. We'll get to Ask Ryan here in about a dozen minutes from right now, so you can line up your questions for Theriot. Email us, tweet us, text us in the 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. It's AFR.
AFR.
Hey, man, make sure you're following. I don't know why I just said, hey, man. I mean, you might be a lady. Anyway, make sure you're following Duplessis Builders on all the social media. We're continuing to roll out the content that we did with Kyron Lacey and Harlem Berry on their social medias. It'll be on the 104.5 ESPN Instagram and Facebook as well. But listen, if you're thinking about building that pool, that outdoor kitchen, your backyard paradise, you can trust Duplessis. Derek Duplessis, an LSU alum, 2 degrees. Actually, got his mechanical engineering degree with a minor in aerospace engineering. And he's taken all of his engineering background and now used it in his pool business to where he's going to build you not only a beautiful pool, but the quality of craftsmanship will last. The industry standard is 1-year warranty. At Duplessis, they give you a 10-year warranty on their work. And, of course, they're great Tiger fans as well, doing those NIL deals with Kyron Lacey and Harlem Berry. Support the place that supports the Tigers. It's DuplessisBuilders.net.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Wall-to-wall TVs mean you'll see every touchdown in HD. Place your bets and feel the thrill of every play with our DraftKings Sportsbook. The Queen Casino, where every moment is a win.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our number one product is always customer satisfaction. Visit us online at reliefwindows.com.
The only thing scary about the deals at Bayou Ford is if you miss out on them, like $15,000 off F-150. Bayou Ford has $15,000 off Ford F-150. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
All them shows in you, when you got blues falling out your glass. Your man don't want you in the club, when you probably starting fights in the club. You come through in your rental car, darling, you might know you a star. You come with
all right. Next week, Bama week. I've asked Theriot to actually come through with a guest picker for next week. And I asked you for your suggestions of who Theriot should reach out to. Dennis said, how about Shaq? Have we had Shaq for guest picker?
I don't think so.
We've done pretty good, man, on the get. Well, like when you actually.
Oh, yeah, we have.
There's a couple of. Shaq?
We've had him, I think. I think we've had him.
We did. Paulie, can you? I don't think so. We had Karl Malone, Barkley, Randy Moss, Darius Rucker, Gary V, Danny Werfel. Who else? We've had other big names.
Do we have Robin Roberts on one time?
Evander Holyfield.
Oh, yeah.
Remember?
Mm-hmm.
That was the Georgia week because his son was a running back at Georgia. That was 2018.
Yeah.
You remember any others, Paulie? Who we leaving off here? I mean, we've had like...
You named all the ones that I could think of.
Like legit big name
guest
people.
pickers.
The idea was, whenever we started that, was Tony La Russa. It was like, let's get people who could actually be like with ESPN College Game Day, like their level of guest picker. And when you put your mind to it, you did great. I mean, it was really good.
Went on a pretty good run.
Well, Clayton Knight said try Ocho again. I told you I kind of I did speak to Ocho a couple weeks back. Because RC had called me, and he was on set at Inside the NFL, and that's RC, Bill Belichick, Ocho, and Chris Long. And I was talking to RC, and Ocho was standing right there, and Ocho jumped on the phone and was like, "Matt, I effing love you." That's what he said. I was like, "Ocho, I got to be honest with you, man. A lot of people here are mad at you. Like, you lost a bet. You need to." He's like, "I'm gonna come. If you see my schedule, you'd understand why." I'm like, I understand that, and I'm sensitive to that. Then don't make the bet. You know what I mean? So, like, I think he's going to come through. It's just a matter of when. Kyle Milliken said Nick Saban or Marcus Spears.
I was going to say Saban.
How could we get Saban?
Easy. I mean, I say easy.
I don't know if you would do it. I would love to interview Saban. When Saban was coaching, it was a total non-starter. You were never going to get him.
I think Coach Pete might be able to help.
Oh, that's true. That is true.
And it's like same thing with Belichick, possibly. Like Coach Pete could possibly help there too.
That's true.
Coach Pete loves you.
I love Coach Pete.
Yeah.
Talking about Pete Jenkins.
Yeah. Maybe if we both kind of surrounded the deal and just because you can pull at his heartstrings. Like he's a sentimental guy. Like, Coach, I really need you here. You know?
Did I tell you the story when Coach Pete called me a couple weeks ago? Did I tell you the story?
Mm-mm.
I didn't tell you this? So he calls me, he goes, Matt, I had to tell you this. Like, I was looking for your program on TV, and I put it on Channel 19. For those that don't know, we're on WBTR Channel 19 in Baton Rouge. He goes, I put it on Channel 19, and there's some dadgum show on. I can't find you. I called Donna. I said, Donna, I can't find Matt's program. He stops. He goes, Matt, I realized I was in Destin. I said, Coach Pete, I gotta show you how to work YouTube. Like I said, you have a smart TV. And he's like, yeah, but I never use that thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was like, Coach, it's so easy. It's your TV is just like your phone. It's hooked up to an internet connection, and you could stream it the same way you could stream something on your phone. It's just a big. Think of it as a big phone. It doesn't make a call.
Yeah.
You know, we just got to hook it up to YouTube. And you go, just put me on YouTube right there. It's easy. So anyway, I told him I was going to walk him. I was going to call him and walk him through it. But that's true. Coach Pete probably. I don't want to ask him for a favor though.
I will. I'd love to. He would like that.
What's on you?
Let's do it together.
I'll tell you. Michael Rutland said guest picker next week should be Mondo Duplantis. He's coming in town for the game. I don't know that we want to do that because you know my feeling.
On Mondo? What do you got?
He's amazing.
Yeah.
But I don't like that he competes for Sweden.
I hate it.
He was born in the United States. He's from Lafayette. Went to LSU. I get it. His mom is Swedish. I get it. And he spent summers in Sweden. I get it. You were born here. You're an American citizen. And all the things that people say, he wanted his parents to be a coach and different flexibility. And I get all that. There's no reality where I can imagine ever competing under another flag than the United States if I had the opportunity. Now, I'm not Mondo, and I don't have the opportunity he does, or the talent he does, or the family situation. I don't. I'm just speaking through my lens. I have so much pride in this country. I cannot imagine wearing another country's flag or colors. I just can't imagine it. So, Mondo's probably a non-starter. And by the way, it's not he is so free to do whatever, and he is amazing, and I'm thrilled for all of his success. That's incredible. Truly, truly, truly. Maybe I'm in like the 0.5% minority.
No, I don't think so.
I may be.
I don't think you
are. I do a job where I get paid. This much I know doing this job for as long as I've done it. The way I always say it is the worst part about being in the opinion media is giving opinions. Because 100% of the time, when you give an opinion, 100% of the time, you're going to piss somebody off. There's always someone on the other side of that argument that is going to be pissed at you. And there's people that love this show 99.999% of the time, and the one bajillionth of a percent that they disagree with you, that's when they're going to let you know. Mm-hmm. So you just have to accept that. So I get it. I might be in this very microscopic number of people with this, but that's just what I believe, and I get paid to give it. I'm sure there's a lot of people that agree that don't have a microphone, so they're not going to say it. But I'm the one with the microphone and say it, and so there's going to be people who are not happy with me about it. But that's okay. I'm good with it. Justin Thomas for guest picker. He's a Bama guy. I guess we could.
We have an in there somehow. I think there's an in there.
Greg Lehman, John Parker Wilson. Little JPW. I think one year we did have...
we had somebody like him.
Why am I blanking?
I'm going to shoot...
The quarterback that's married to the country singer.
I'm going to go for Saban.
Who was Alabama's quarterback in the 90s. Jay Barker. Jay Barker. I think we had Jay Barker one year. I've definitely had Jay Barker on the show, plenty. Jay used to be. I don't think he's on... he's not on Jocks anymore. He used to be on Jocks FM.
Hey, RC could help us with Belichick.
Well, yeah, he could, but I don't want to call RC and ask him.
Why? What's wrong with asking a favor?
I don't want to ask a favor.
What's wrong with that?
You ask a favor. All right, we'll grab a break. We'll come back. We'll do Ask Ryan to wrap up the show next. Stay far.
After further review.
Brought to you by the Renaissance Hotel, the Watermark Hotel, two amazing hotel properties, Watermark Downtown, Renaissance Southtown. Great opportunity on this Friday to get over to the Renaissance Hotel. Knocking off of work, heading home. I bet you just do a little detour. Go right in there to Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel. A little dinner at Tallulah. Not a bad option. Actually, it's a great option. Tallulah is amazing. It's a casual upscale dining experience. This isn't it's not like just a hotel restaurant where they got your small bites and all that stuff that you sometimes see you order on room service. No. This is a casual upscale dining experience. Beautiful wine list. My guy Nathaniel over there, the GM's a whiskey guy as well. He has curated a very good whiskey list at the bar at Tallulah as well. Very nice indoor-outdoor flow. I don't know what the weather's doing right now, but you can sit outside and enjoy your wine, your cocktail, especially when the weather gets a little nicer. Great there and get the pork chop. I'm telling you, you go to Tallulah for dinner, just trust me, get the pork chop. It's Tallulah inside the Renaissance Hotel.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram can get you in a new 2024 Ram 1500 truck for only $32,898. $32,898 for a new Ram 1500 truck. All new Bayou Automotive vehicles come with a complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps are held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
Down the stretch we come, final segment here on a Friday edition of AFR. One thing left to do. Terio's here, so we'll do a little Ask Ryan. Get your questions in. That percolate in your brain as to how you can get someone to impersonate or come in here as a ghost, dressed as a ghost of Bear Bryant.
100%.
I know you are.
Dixon McMakin would do it.
He would do it in a heartbeat. Put him in a houndstooth hat.
Yeah, he would love it. I mean, that would be right up his alley.
Last time we mocked another fan base, Hunt did Hunt the Good Ag, which was amazing. It went viral, and then LSU lost by 20 to a 4-win team. It was not good. All right, that'll do it for us. Alondra Pollock, thank you all. Have a great weekend. We'll see you Monday at 3.
After further review.
Down the road, remind you about Supper Club, supperclubBTR.com. Oh, guess what?
What?
Supper Club has stone crabs in. Started getting them in last week. They're in season. They've got them at Supper Club. So many of you have been to Supper Club. You know what they've got on the menu. Remember, in the springtime, they added 6 new menu items, which have been so well received. The Japanese omi beef. That's the thing that they feed to the samurai. It's so the Emperor of it's a 400-year-old farm. The Emperor of Japan. That's his beef of choice. They've got those new menu. I told you about the veal parmesan, which is I dream about that veal parmesan. But there's always new things and new specials. The Thursday special, which is the prime rib, one day only. Thursday only is prime rib at Supper Club. But they've got the stone crabs right now in season. They're select. They're gorgeous. You can get them at Supper Club. Get them by this weekend. SupperClubBTR.com for your reservations. SupperClubBTR.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Join us at Pro Dreams in Mandeville for our special event, A Day of Champions. Meet LSU National Championship winning head coaches Jay Johnson, Skip Bertman, and Paul Maneri. Don't miss your chance to purchase authentic sports memorabilia, autographed by the champions themselves. It's the perfect opportunity to celebrate LSU baseball and take home a piece of history. Visit pro-dreams.com to get your tickets. See you there.